Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show, live show. Gonna be getting into game four. Hopefully, not last game of the season. I agree, David Cruz. Let's try to at least go out with a bang if we have to. What's good? Yo, 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 yo. Good to have you in here, fam. And Lazy Bunny TV, what's good, bro? Knowledge is power. We're gonna be trying to share some of that. I'm gonna be getting our boy Daft on here as well in just a minute. Gonna let people pop into the stream a little bit. Hell yeah, Free Sauce, what's good? What's good, Stan? Good to see you, bro. Look at the commitment from Free Sauce talking about the being at work. I appreciate you, bro. Got the V on today. Hopefully nobody's matching what I'm wearing once again, as has happened a couple times with Prop Bomb. We're gonna be getting into this stuff here, bro, on Friday. Obviously, we don't want this to be the last game. I think even Boston fans are like, yo, can we just get a little bit more hoop? Like, we don't really need to worry about winning this game if we're Boston. I'm a little bit hesitant to just be like, oh, it's going to be a Dallas affair because they have to win. Like, I don't really think it's like that. So keep that in mind as we roll along here. I got a couple bets already in. Going to get everything here scrolling on the bottom line as well. So all the stuff that I've got is going to be in here. I need to actually add a couple bets to the bottom line, but I'm going to send Daft the invite as well. He should be in here in just a little bit. It's early out there in Australia. So make sure that if you are coming in, you jump in the comments and throw your bets in there as well, so that we can make sure that we look at everything. We're going to get into everybody here in just a sec. Like I said, I got about 5 plays already that I'm looking at, so hopefully we'll be able to get some of those in at the same number that I got it at. I think a lot of it is still available, so keep that in mind. But definitely want to jump in there and check out what's on the bottom line if you don't yet have that stuff in there. Let me go ahead and put some of those bets down for you guys. If you're in the Discord, I will say you already know about these bets. So make sure that if you are not yet in there, the link is in the description of this video. It's going to be a really helpful tool. I mean, it has been for me, man. I mean, the looks that I'm getting from everybody in the Discord has been fire, much appreciated, especially on that W where I've needed a little bit of help, especially with those player props in the W. Been a lot better at the size and totals. 2-2 yesterday. I'm not even going to get into what happened yesterday because we got fake news from one of the couple of different sites that were saying that BG Brittany Griner was out and she was not. But we'll move on from that. I'm not going to harp on it too much. I got everything on the bottom line now. You hope Boston wants to win it in Boston. That is such a great point. I really hope that's the case. I'm not confident or positive in any way, but that'll be fire. Let me start putting some stuff here on the thanks, Dave. Dave's a big proponent of the green screen. I'm still working out some kinks with that, but we'll keep it going. I'm going to start just run through real quick while I do wait on Daft, and then start to put some of your stuff here in the upcoming. So we're going to be looking at pretty much everybody, but here's some of the bets that I do have already. And I'll put those up on the screen right now. We can just run through them. I did want to go through a couple quick of the takeaways that I had from last game that I think are going to be relevant for this game. Once again, the first thing here is that the Dallas centers, it's an unreliable rotation. You can't just go ahead and say one dude's going to play, one's not. I lean towards Lively in this one, but Gafford played more the previous game. KP was out for a lot of that. I think there's correlation between KP not playing and Derrick Lively getting more minutes and being more successful. So I do think Lively's still a better look with KP. He's questionable, but like, what do we really think? It's like a 4 to 6 week injury, man. So I'm not really worried about that. And then the other concept here would just be Derrick Lively at home, where he's been so much better, which makes sense as a rook, right? That he would be way better at home. So keep all that in mind. I think Boston, I mean, it's hard for me to pick against Boston, man. I mean, even when Dallas is at their best, even when they're getting a bit more from some of these others dudes besides Kyruka, as we call them, still not the same squad, man. It's got to be a lot of threes versus twos. And that's what that last note there is. Boston scored 24 more points from deep. Dallas scored 16 more points in the paint. That was basically the disparity between them, right? It was a 7-point game. Dallas had 8 fewer points when you add up the points in the paint versus the 3-pointers. That's just an illustration of what this Boston strategy has been all playoffs, which is just you can get your twos. We're not going to double. We're not going to worry about guys hitting shots inside the 3-point line like Luca has done all series. You're going to have to hit threes to beat us. And if you don't have the 3 power that we have, then you're toast. And that's kind of been what we've seen. That's why I don't really know, even if Boston wins, I mean, no one's really expecting them to come back down from 3-0. Be nice to see them win a game. But I mean, what about Luca's attitude makes you think that like he's just going to make sure his team doesn't lose, right? I don't get the strong mental fortitude that it takes from Luca to do this. So last thing there too is Derrick Jones Jr. did not really play at all in this last game. Hasn't been anything for them on offense. And because Tatum was going off and his whole job is to stop Jason Tatum, Wasn't able to do that last game, which led to his benching, essentially. We saw a little bit more THJ. I'll see if we have some props up for him. I'm going to be using Outlier as well, as I always have been. So quick reminder that if you don't yet have an Outlier account, you can get free 7 days to check it out using the link in the description of the video. So go ahead and jump into the description of this video if you do want to check out Outlier and get yourself a little free 7 days to be able to use it. It's really what I've been using predominantly here moving for the past basically couple months. So a couple of picks that I want to put out there. I don't think this is at the same number anymore, but I still think Kyrie to get 6 points in the first quarter is a great look. Gone over in the last 2. What's he going to wait for this game to come to him? He doesn't have time for that. They got to win. They know that they need to come out strong. Can't afford to go down against Boston. When you start needing to hit threes against Boston, you're cooked. That's where they're going to be really, really good defending, as they have been all series, because they don't double. So if they don't need to double off their guy, no open spot ups. So for Kyrie, you can't really afford to go down, and I think he'll come out strong again. This plus money for him to get 6 points is crazy when he's taking about 5.5 shots per game in the first quarter, up to about 10 minutes per game as well. And that's in the last 10, where I think things have tightened up a little bit for Dallas. So also just not at TD Garden is huge. I still think he's good for that. If you're wondering about the overall points for the game, we'll take a look at that together. But I'm not super confident on the total just yet, because it's 24.5 for him. So the whole game is a little bit more dicey, but I think he comes out strong. Honestly, same concept with Luca. We might have a little same game parlay with Luca and Kyrie to get their points. So we'll take a look at that. I put together a little SGP for threes to be made by these two homies, Derrick White and PJ Washington, who are now guarding each other. And that's what this comes down to for PJ. 2 things. He's playing at home, where he's been just incredibly better, shooting the 3 at home versus away on the road. But also now he's got Derrick White guarding him. So it was Al Horford or whomever the center was in for Boston that was guarding PJ. Now with Al Horford off of him, and you see Derrick White guarding him, that means he's able to get that shot off. He's taller than D. White, not necessarily able to drive by Derrick White, right? That's going to be a big sort of look for PJ, is a few more threes coming. I think the 8 to 10 3-point attempts that he's been taking will be there for him. I'm very confident that a lot of the conversation behind closed doors for PJ has been, you need to shoot the ball, bro. Like, you need to take some contested shots. You need to just be taking some shots from outside. Like, we need the 3-point shooting to come from somewhere besides only Kyrie and Luca, and really Luca, who still, I mean, he went 1 for 7 last game, but he's been the only dude making threes. Hopefully Luca's not as concerned with the refs this game, but we can actually get a full game from Luca Donic rather than foul baiting. He'll just go ahead and take the shot over guys like Peyton Pritchard, where he was foul baiting against Peyton Pritchard. Bro, you have 10 inches. Just shoot the ball. Like, it was brutal to watch, but we'll see what happens there. Either way, I think unders in this game are the play. I did play under 211.5 on the game total. I didn't put that in here, but keep that in mind. I do like this for the total, and I like the under on 50.5 points in the fourth quarter, something that we've seen very consistently. I've been putting this one out a little bit more in the Discord. Haven't really put it out in too many videos, so hopefully you are in the Discord on top of being subscribed to the page, so you can check everything out and not just be worried about what the videos say. Sometimes put a few bets in later, right? So keep all that in mind here, that the pace slows down. I mean, this series average in the whole game is 201, so it's a little crazy that they say that, but yeah, we'll keep it going here. I'm going to start getting into the comments in 1 sec, but I also have a bet for Luca under turnovers, and I think this is going to be a good parlay piece for a lot of you. I'm going all in with 1.4 units to get a full unit back on the Luca under 4.5 turnovers. He's done this super consistently. I really can't even believe it's still at 4.5. He has an 8 turnover game in this series, but a lot of these turnovers are just unforced errors, man. If he just takes care of the ball, Boston's not really forcing turnovers like that. That hasn't been their calling card all season, as you probably know. They have the fewest turnovers in the league during the regular season. So those are the 5 plays that I have up. Totals under fourth quarter in the game. Luca under turnovers. PJ and Derrick White to get a couple threes each. 3 for D. White, who I didn't really talk about him, but if you need an understanding, this is the dude that sort of ends these possessions where they pass the ball around the key, with a 3 for D. White, which is what they're looking for. And then Kyrie in the first quarter. So let me jump in the comments, see what y'all got too, and see what we like here. What's good, Ramon? Talking about some Jaylen Brown. Maybe we'll just start with JB, who, if you were once again in the Discord, is where we were talking about JB being the MVP of this series. So, you know, that's something that looks really good right now. I believe he's slightly behind Tatum still, which is wild, but I'll take a look at that too to see where we're at with the current futures for that stuff. Let me keep looking at a couple things y'all throw in here. Stan's talking about Luca PRA, an under for Luca PRA. I'm scared to take Luca's like points and all that stuff right now. I do not like what I see from him. So I'll throw him in here. We'll look at the Jays first, and then we'll get into Luca. We'll just start with some of the stars, obviously. C Sims coming in. Don't sleep on Hauser. I think he's I think he's a pretty good look too. So I agree entirely with that take there, Sam. I just deleted my shit. Hold up one sec. So we're putting Tatum, Brown. I got Luca. We'll get to Hauser as well, and we can talk about him right after the Luca take here. But I know C Sims over here comes in with the nice looks for the role players. So we'll take a look at that for sure. Pritchard, man, I'm consistently fading Pritchard. I know Trey in the Discord is also fading him as well. But we'll take a look at the two white boys for Boston. You'll notice Luke Cornett did not get in the game last game. Speaking of white boys, like there's no room for him in this series. The minute that they see Luke Cornett on the floor is the minute that Luca's like, come here and get this work. So, and same for Kyrie. Like they're just going to hunt him. I don't think he's going to be feeling too good about that. So let me see what else we got. What's good, G-Bag? Missed having you in here, bro. Good to see you. We'll get some Kyrie in there as well. I do got to look at the full game, right? For Kyrie to God. So I'll put him up on the up next stuff. Also, if you are somewhat new, I know we got a couple new people jumping in here and there. Definitely want to make sure you check out the description of the video. That's going to have all of the links to everything we're using in here. So if you have questions about any of the tools that I'll be bringing up, let me know. Both teams under. Look at JK with a pretty good look. Both teams under 109. What? That's plus 110? That's crazy. Both teams to do that is plus 110. Is that DraftKings, JK? That's a pretty good look. Yeah, David, I do like both of them. Let me see about what, like maybe a little parlay for both those dudes. What looks like for the first quarter stuff. But you know they're going to come out firing. And there's not really much three-point shooting outside of PJ Washington on the floor to start because Derrick Jones Jr. cannot. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's a really good look, bro. I mean, I like that right there. I should just tail that blindly, honestly. I like that a lot, which is both teams under. Let me start sharing my screen so I can show you guys what I'm looking at. But both teams under is a really good look. I need to get my my correct little banner up here real quick. Stand by, and we'll start sharing this screen so I can take a look at what you guys are putting out there as well. All right, getting this one right quick. This is the live. All right, putting this up, and we're gonna start jumping into it. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any other plays, obviously specifically you want to look at. We're going to go through so much in here that like we'll probably touch on whatever it is that you want to put in there. But if you have a specific play, also, one thing that's really helpful is if you guys put a play in there that you like, let me know why you like it real quick. Let me know what it is that you're looking at that's telling you this is or is not a good bet that you might want to play. That's really helpful for me to have something to kind of start with in terms of what y'all are thinking. But all right, we're going to kick it off here with some of the stuff you guys were looking at. Okay, I was like DeAndre Ayton. But yeah, we'll look at Peyton P, or as we call him on this show, Pusha P, because he looks like he carries a JanSport bag around that probably has drugs in it. No offense, Peyton. That's just a haircut you'd be rocking. Let me pull up who's the first one I got here? JB. No, I got Tatum up first. Tatum was someone I was feeling on the rebounds, as y'all know, probably. I did have a bet last game that involved him getting 8 boards, which was something he had done super consistently. He didn't do it. I'm going to start looking at that actually as the first play here. But let me pull up Jay Tate and go from there. We got points. Let me get the lineup right here for Tatum. He's at 27.5 now points, by the way. The boards, there's probably still at what? They're still at 9.5, I would imagine. And that was one of the first looks people brought up. So it's minus 114 for him to go over 9.5. All right, that's the best look on it. Let's pull up the last game log real quick and get into the box score stuff. Oh, you know what? I need to pull up Daph's thing too. I'll get that in a second. All right, I'm gonna go into game 3 right quick and see what that looks like. So, I mean, look at this. How is the total still at what it's at? That's crazy to me. I think that's a really good look by JK on the under 109.5 for both of them. I'm gonna show you guys where that's at real quick, just so you know. If you go to, I believe it's Game Props. Gonna go into the game on DK. This is the only book that I've seen that's offering both team totals, that kind of stuff. Maybe it's Team Props, my bad. All team totals, both team total points. All right, so if you go down under Team Props here, and you can look at either over for both teams or under. So if both teams don't even hit 91 points, it's plus 4,000, 40-1 on your money. If both teams don't hit 109, that's crazy, dude. Both teams under 109.5. I think that's an incredible look. and it's 20 cents better than just one more point added. So nice find by JK. Appreciate you having you in here always, man, because I love the looks that you bring in here, and I believe also sometimes in the Discord as well. I'm going to put that up right now. Honestly, I'm just going to tell you on that, fam, and I'm going to give you all the credit in the world for that. Under 109 points, because I still like the under 109 points for both teams. That's going to be plus 110 DK. Hit that with a little 0.5 units. Neither team has hit 110 in this series, so I'm not sure why that's at plus 110. Hell yeah, Nick, giving our boy some credit here. That's a great look. Ramon likes the assist for JB. We'll get into that one sec. I want to look at the stuff for Tatum real quick. We're in the game 3 game log here. So there's a couple things that happened that led to JB getting points and rebound chances over Jason Tatum. And what that's going to be, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to go into matchups, because whenever I talk about rebounds, I really want to know matchups, because I want to know who's guarding who to help me understand where dudes are standing on the floor. Right? For Tatum, one of the reasons we've loved backing Tatum rebounds is that he's guarding centers. If you look at this, so this is game 3. Normally he'd be guarding centers. I'm going to put Tatum on defense in the matchups here on the NBA stats page. Hopefully you guys use this go into the box scores and use this type of info, because matchups are huge and this tracking data is your absolute best friend. So he did spend a ton of time on D Lively and a little bit on Gafford, but Luca's also trying to get Tatum on the switch. This is what I wanted to show you guys. If you look at the way that Luca is orchestrating the offense, he's happy to get Jason Tatum on him. And to be fair, he kind of torched Tatum in this one here. He had 9 points in the couple minutes that he was guarding him. 4 for 9. He couldn't hit his threes, but in the prior game too, same concept. He was about 6 for 8 from the floor when Jason Tatum was guarding him. So he's a roughly 10 for 17 at this point in the last 2 games when Jason Tatum is the primary defender on Luca Doncic. That's some good numbers for Luca. But the fact that Luca's switching him on switching Tatum onto him to get him to it's the matchup that he's looking for. We've actually seen Jaylen Brown off of Luca a little bit more. We saw him on some Kyrie. We also saw him on Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford, right? So there's a little bit more willingness to get Jaylen Brown onto these centers, which has led to him actually getting more rebounds in the last couple games, right? If we look at Tatum's rebounds in the last 2, pulling it up right here, he had 9 and 6, right? And this is the game where Luca started to hunt Jason Tatum, because he's been the worst matchup to guard Luca. So with that in mind, JB's been a really good look, right, as a result of this. And I'm just going to pull up a different outlier window, so it's just easy to switch back and forth between Tatum and Brown, because this is super correlated right here. And if I pull up Jaylen Brown, and I pull up his stuff right here, I'm going to go to his rebounds real quick. Where are they at? Over here. Rebounds for Tatum. So Brown, he only had 4 in this game. He didn't quite reap the benefits, but he had 8 over here. So that is taking a little bit away from Tatum. And then the 6, I think this game is really what I'm showing you. I think they're going to do the same thing, though. I think Tatum is going to be hunted by Luca, which might inhibit him from getting some boards. If we're also looking at the dimes for both those dudes, I want to pull up Tatum first, since he's the first dude we're looking at. If I pull up the dimes for Tatum over here, you can go down and see potential assists as well. So he had a big game, 12 on 13 potentials. And I'll be honest with you, 13 potentials to get 12 assists here in game 2. That was a little bit of the home love from the scorekeeper, that he even got those assists. Like I think probably about 3 of those dimes that Tatum had in this last game were very generous in terms of this stat keeper giving him that number, right? But in the over here, the 8 potentials, which led to 5 dimes, he's at 5.5 for minus 110 now. I think 5. Look how many times he's finished on 5 just in the last 10 games for Tatum. Exactly. So I think you get this to 4.5, or if you're going to take Tatum's assists, you dumb it down to 5 and you take that as a piece of a parlay. That's where I'm at with his stuff for Jason Tatum. So keep all that in mind. Oh, you can't see everything. My bad. I'll make it smaller. I thought it was a little bit more helpful to see it bigger, but yeah, that's a lot better. You're right. And let me actually edit this over here. This is what's all right. That's why you can't see the whole screen. My bad. All right, pull this up. All right. All right, that should be a lot better. Cool. So this is what we're looking at. Let me see if I can get this a little bigger too. Can you help me out and fill? There we go. Look at that. People helping people. Appreciate you, Stan. So keeping it moving with Tatum. The points are terrifying to me. I mean, everything should still be a good game for him, but Buddy was talking about how he doesn't really like the threes. He thinks a lot of what he saw from Tatum in this last game was a little bit of luck. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. I don't know what Tatum's numbers are. I'm going to just pull this up real quick on StatMuse, which is Jason Tatum stats in closeout games. Can I get that this season? So in the closeout games, 26, 25, 16 against Miami. You could argue he didn't really have to do much. I mean, he took 26 shots against the Pacers and still wasn't hitting bupkis, as you can see. Not getting to the line at all against Indy either, which is terrible because Indy fouls a ton. Neither of these teams have been getting to the foul line much, so you're not going to get much help from Tatum there. I'm trying to see real quick who guarded Tatum mostly in this last game, now that we know that Derrick Jones Jr. was not long. So it was a lot more of PJ Washington. You saw some Kyrie Irving. Even the centers got switched onto him. He kind of cooked PJ, which is not a matchup that I think that the Mavericks really want to have, is PJ on Tatum. PJ has been much better guarding Jaylen Brown. He didn't get any Jaylen Brown in this game. Or no, this is Tatum, my bad. He didn't get much Jaylen Brown in this game, and Brown did his thing. I still like Brown to score. He's just looked so much better with the in terms of in the clutch, especially, right? Like Jaylen Brown has not shied away from anything. He was a massive reason for the last W for this squad. So I kind of want to keep riding Jaylen Brown's points versus Tatum's points more than anything. Let's see what Tatum had for the rebounds and assists too, because I was liking the rebounds and assists for him. And he only had 11 last game, right? Because he only had the 6 boards, 5 assists. We still get this at 15.5, but we get a bunch more juice there. So the rebound chances were down to 10. Potential assists were down to 8. That's only 18 right there. And on the most part, so real quick, in the last 10, he's looking at in the potentials categories over here. He's looking at 10.9 potential assists, 14.7 rebounds. And the rebounds and assists, it has not really amounted to, well, it's amounted to a good amount of overs up here. I still prefer this to the points for Jay Tatum, to be honest with you. I think they're still going to be moving the ball around the key a ton. That's where I lean for him. All this stuff is mad high for Tatum. I'm going to put this as a lean for right now, which is Tatum over 15.5 RA. That's kind of my preferred play for him. I kind of agree with Buddy on the points for Tatum. I still don't really love him having to make shots, and he's still taking so many difficult shots, yo. If you look at Tatum's offense, and I'll just do him versus PJ for instance for 1 second. So if you click on the actual, if you click on the what am I trying to say, on the actual hyperlink right in here, right? I'll just go back and show you real quick. So this, let me go into the box score itself, and I'll just show you his field goal attempts. If you go in here, you can see that these are hyperlinks inside of the box score, right? So if we pull up the 26 field goal attempts right here, every single shot that he took, there's so many tough shots in here that he's still pulling that, like, yeah, he made a bunch of threes. A couple of them rattled around the rim and went in. I would also be mindful of that. All that stuff kind of scares me is the main point here. So I still don't really love the shots that he's taking. I know he got to the rim a bunch more. Maybe he has some more success. Gafford is a better rim protector than Lively. I will say that. But I think we're still going to see a lot of Lively in this game. So I'm just going to leave Tatum in here as a lean for right now. And then I'm going to go to my guy, Jaylen, who I've enjoyed betting on a lot more than Tatum because I like what I see from him right now, man. Let me also jump in the comments real quick and see where we're at. What up, Burr Oaks? Yeah, Germany was an easy play, right? That was easy money, man. And 3-0 in the first half was a nice little play, too. What's up, Pasty? Let me see. I haven't gone over much. Let me put Drew RA in there for you. Best of luck to you, too, brother. Put Drew in here. This is a Drew and Jaylen Brown love fest more than anything. I'll be honest with you. Let me see if I got a couple more that. Yeah, we need to look at Derrick White. I still like his threes, to be honest. You saw that right in the bet that I put in with him and PJ. I'll put D White in here as well. And then yeah, we got to look at Lively. I'm still really hesitant to play Lively or Gafford. I lean strongly towards Lively once more because we're at home. We don't have any PJ Washington, et cetera, et cetera. I've made that clear. But really what we've seen, and I kind of talked about this in the opening slide, is that and this is one of the takeaways right here. The first one, Dallas centers are just whomever's playing the best gets the minutes. And so you really got to like see at the beginning of the game, who do you think has it going a bit more? We didn't really know much until the second quarter of that last game. So it's tough to just like make that call on either of them when we need to know who's playing better in the beginning to see where we're at with it. But Kevin really wants to look at Peyton's points, or he's just leaning on the enter key on his keyboard, not totally sure. But we'll get to Pritchard in 1 sec. So you know where I'm at with Jay Tate. Let's look at Jaylen Brown once more. It took him a second to come alive, but man, in the second half, did he come alive, right? What was it in the second half? 10 for 16, 24 points. I think with the amount of shots he's still taking and the good looks that he has, the fact that he's out in transition, I still think Jaylen Brown is the dude. I think he also smells that Eastern Conference MVP, or excuse me, the Finals MVP trophy is kind of his to lose, right? What are the odds right now for both those dudes? This is hyper relevant. Let me go to NBA odds over here. Pull up player awards. MVP? Oh no, now Jaylen. Okay, minus 360. Yep. All right, cool. So that's where we're at. You can see Jaylen Brown is now very likely to be the MVP. He is highly favored, and really that second half probably propelled him into this spot, which is pretty awesome. That was what it took. Was just a solid second half, and our boy is looking real good now for his stuff. The points, they're at 24.5, right? This is a big number that in the playoffs, he's basically hit not that often. Now, in the last 10, we're at let me just go back to the last 10 real quick. 6 of 10. It's a good number, but 24.5 is high. Like 21.5 was a beautiful number to be able to take an over on him last game. Now I'm getting a little bit more nervous. If we wanted to be kind of square about this, we'd probably do something along the lines of a same game parlay. Let me pull up FanDuel. I've been liking their odds a little bit more in the playoffs for the parlays. If we look at the Jays to each score like 20, 25 points, I mean, 25 is where we're at for Jaylen Brown's points prop here. Pulling it up. If I pull both of these dudes up to get 20, Jesus, yeah, we're not going to get shit for odds, right? Yeah, it's going to be like minus 273. And then if maybe we can't even add Kyrie to this. Good Lord. Yeah, because Kyrie is all the way up at 24.5 too. I do think Kyrie's still likely to score, but this isn't going to be anything that I really like here between these two guys to get theirs like that. I really loved the first quarter stuff between them. Let me take a quick look at that too, but it's kind of dissipated for JB. He had a bad first quarter last game. Let's give him benefit of the doubt because let me pull up the first quarter of this last game. 1 for 4, 0 for 2 from deep, and then missed a free throw that would have gotten us the 5+. Tatum's been coming out much stronger in the first quarter, right? What's his first quarter stuff at? First quarter points for Tatum, 13. Okay, yeah, he had a tough game in the other couple games. So but 6 or 7 for him. It's still not quite the same kind of hit rate, and I don't have anything that really tells me that these dudes are going to hit their shots. I know they're going to take them. What's his first? He's now at 6. No, damn. So over 5.5 now is minus 148 after he missed it last game in the first quarter. That's crazy, dude. That doesn't make any sense to me that they're not giving us better juice. Last game it was plus money for Jaylen Brown to get over 5.5 first quarter points. Let me see if y'all think anything about that. Yeah, JB assists is a good look, man. I gotta look at that. The Jaylen Brown assists continues to be a good look for some of the stuff I talked about last game, which is the fact that he's passing so much more on his drives. Let's see, it's still at 3.5. No way. That's a fine bet right there, man. Like I showed this last game. You can see how often dudes are what they're doing on their drives, thanks to the blessed tracking data that we know we have. So let me just show you what I'm talking about real quick. Shout out Prop Bomb. Even though he kind of big time me. No, I'm just kidding. He just couldn't make it today. In fact, he just gave me a thing. He's unavailable, but we're hoping for some Game 5 stuff. Daft will be jumping on too once he rubs the cobwebs from his eyes. Here's what I wanted to show you that I was really grateful that PB brought to my attention, which is the tracking data around drives. Right in the finals series here. Let's just do finals. So I went to NBA stats. I changed this to players, tracking, drives. All right. So this is how you see the tracking data really in all of its fullness in front of you. For all the players in this series, Tatum, 20 drives, Brown, 18 drives. That's a lot. That's more than they were taking during the regular season, by the way. Like the usage is now up at about 55, 60% between these two dudes. Look at how often they're passing on this. Jaylen Brown, 56% of his drives he's passing on. More than half the time that this dude's driving to the basket, he's passing off of it. Who would have ever guessed that? Tatum also right at about 50%, which is why the assists seem to have been up a lot for both these dudes. JB, 2 assists per game off of the drives that he's taking, right? Which has been 18 per game. That's a really huge jump from what he was doing. Let me just show you what I mean real quick. Pulling up the regular season stuff. Let me make this regular season and not the finals, and also make it Boston. So Boston's players, come on out. You know, I don't need that. You know I got league pass. What do you think this is? In the regular season, first of all, way fewer drives, as you see, 10 for Brown. So both of them have doubled the amount that they're driving. But the pass percentage for both these dudes off of their drives, look how far down I have to go. 33% for him, 25% for Tatum, 33% for JB. So they've doubled the amount that they're driving, and they've doubled the amount that they're passing. That's why I'm still not down to go under on either of those dudes. Jaylen Brown, let me hit that for minus 135. I do not care about that poor juice for JB. I'm going to go JB assist real quick as a starting point, as its own bet, because I don't want to lose that. Over JB, let's put Brown in here. This is going on the bottom line. Everything's also going to be pinned in the comments of this YouTube video as soon as we're done in here. So make sure you check that out. We're going over 3.5 assists. I know it's minus 135 on DK, but I like that for a full unit. We got bets to slang, man. I got about 40 units of profit on the NBA that I'm willing to put down, probably about 5 of them, maybe close to 10 today in terms of what we want to hit. So I'm going to be putting a lot of bets out there. Tail at your own, discretion here. You don't got to just play everything. You don't got to bet. Our boy Mike loves to tell us that, but what's good, RJ? I'll definitely be looking at Drew. Always Drew with the 2 threes, brother. You know it. You know that's what we do. Damn, Kev, you are persistent, bro. All right. I feel like you want to dip, and that's why you really want to look at Peyton P so bad. Either that, or once again, you're just on that enter key and just hitting copy paste. But I'm going to do it because of your persistence. I guess the squeaky wheel gets the grease, man. Even though I don't like to reward annoying behavior, I'm not really annoyed by it. I actually respect it. Here's my analysis. No over 3.5 points for Peyton Pritchard. That is no for me. Now, the reason he would get some time is because you think this is a blowout, right, Kev? And Kev, let me know what you think here, bro. Like, I want to know why you want to see this so bad, and you've been seen. So, like, tell me what you think in the comments too, please. I appreciate that. Oh, good to see you, Mike. I was just talking about you, and it was all good things. I promise. I wasn't talking trash. So Pusha P, first of all, y'all agree with me, right? Like, y'all knew, everybody in here knows someone from high school who wore a black JanSport backpack to school that you were like, there's for sure weed in that bag that is for sale. That's the haircut Peyton P, or Pusha P, as we like to call him, rocks. Why are you trying to hit over? Why though, right? Like, he's over in this series. The 3 points that this man has in the series came at the end of the first half of game 2 when he put up a full damn near 3/4 shot, right? 3/4 court shot that banked in and went in. So I'm still hella hesitant. Let me see what you got here, Kev. I feel like he's going to hit. I win a lot of sports betting. I plays just need one more point. Well, yeah, no, that's cool. But like, why though? Like, he hasn't been taking the shots, right? What's his field goal attempts at? So in the finals, he's down to what, like about 12.5 minutes per game. And the field goal attempts for him, he's taken. Oh, he took 7 in the first game, which was a little bit more of that blowout where we saw him take 3 of these shots in the fourth quarter. So keep that in mind. And then 2 in this game, both from 3, and then 4 in the last game. So he went over. So maybe there's something there, Kev, right? Where you're like, perhaps like he's gonna essentially be looking at the 4 shots. You expect him to make 2 of those and have a little bit of positive regression, because in the series now that's 0 for 11, 1 for 13 in the series. So yeah, he's not a 1 for 13 shooter. Maybe you like that, but let's look at when he's getting these minutes too. So if you guys are not familiar with Popcorn, that is a popcornmachine.net, not .com. .com is going to take you to buy an actual popcorn machine, but this is nice because it helps us see the game flow. So let me look at the last game real quick. So this, wherever you see green right here, is where a player is subbed in and plays, right? So Pusha P did not get any time in the first quarter. He got the beginning of the second quarter for about 6.5 minutes. And then he got 3.5 minutes in the fourth. So that's how he got 11 minutes in this game, right? Like, that's tough, man. I don't really like it in 11 minutes for Pusha. Like, I can't see that. Cody was the white kid with the sketchy backpack, bro. No doubt. I can't see it for Pusha. Like, I don't think that's where you want to go. You need one more pick for something. I feel you on that, Kev, but I can't endorse an over for Peyton. In fact, what's his PRA at for real? Let me see. Points, rebounds, and assists. And if is Trey on here? Trey, are we hitting the under on this? Let me know if Trey Prince, if you hit the under 6.5. So he got a couple other little plays, 3.5 points, and then so that means his rebounds. Let's see real quick. The rebounds are at 1.5. The assists are at 1.5. And I like the under and all this stuff. points and rebounds and assists at 6. I think that's another under, unless you think it's a blowout or that there's going to be a main. Appreciate you, Kev. Yeah, no doubt. I think an under 6.5 PRA is the play for Peyton P. I'm going to put him in here as a lean right now. Pusha P. Let me know if you guys know who that is. Pusha P under 6.5 PRA. Where are we at with that number for the under on the PRA? Under is going to be -120. That's still a good look, man. In 11 to 10, yeah, that's still a good look for me. I'm going to go under on that at -120. What did I just say? And what book is that? Either or -120, and that is on DK. That's the best number. Yeah, I still think that's the play. All right, -120 for on DK. So I'm going to leave that up in the leans for right now. These leans going to be turned into the picks that we have here by the end, or when I get into that, when I put these up on the pinned comments. So, all right. And a quick reminder, if you could like the video, it goes a long way, y'all. If you're getting anything out of it, even if what you're getting out of this is I'm going to fade this dumbass, great. But I would appreciate the like on the video because I helped you find a bet you'd like by fading me. All right, I'm going to take Pritchard out of the upcoming stuff. I got JB on the assist here. I saw a look for his threes too. I don't want to miss that. I forget who put that up, but I want to just quickly look at Jaylen Brown threes as well. He went 1 for 5 last game, I believe, right? He took 9. Oh, he's 2 for 9 last game, right? 1 for 5 in the previous game, 2 for 9 in this game from deep. And his 3-point prop is at 1.5 after he just took 9. Yo, good shout, whoever put that in there, because it looks like the volume is still there for our guy. What I just had 3 PA up. So in the series 6-5-9, that's 20 over 3 games, which is about 6.5 attempts per game. It's like 6.3 attempts per game from 3. Do we think he can hit 2 of those? I do, right? What's he on the season in terms of his 3-point percentage? So he hit 2 in just 40% of games. Wow. And the 3-point attempts are at on the season. Why can't I find that? Oh, right here. I'm sorry. 5.82 that he's averaging. So he's averaging about 6 attempts and he's averaging about 2 makes. So, I mean, no, on the season, he's actually at 52 of 87, right? So that's a pretty good number right there. At -120, that's still a good look, right? I definitely think so. I'm put that under the leans for right now as well. Kev, my picks are on the bottom line. They're scrolling there. So good look, Deshaun. I appreciate that. Yeah, but my picks are on the bottom line, Kev. So if you need to see what's already in, you can get that. As soon as Daft jumps on, I'll put them in. But yeah, everything's gonna be posted there in the Discord as well. It's free for now, y'all. So I would highly recommend getting in there. If you do get in before any kind of paywall gets up, probably gonna get a little discount. So I'll just put that out there for everybody too. The day 1s, even the day 20s, you're gonna get some love. But either way, all right, let's put JB threes in there as well. That's a really good look. I appreciate you bringing that up, Deshaun. And then wow. It's up to 2.5 for just +125. That's not a great number compared to the fact that we even get it at -1.5. For him to bump up 1.3 gets you another $1. I mean, that's a decent jump. I will say that 2.5 ain't bad. 2 feels really comfortable here. And I wonder if there's any correlation to KP being out. Let's take KP out by going to the filters and putting him out. I don't think he's playing, man. I mean, I guess he's been at practice. I don't want to have to guess this fully. But if he is playing, like, how much can we really rely on that? So this number is still at about 2.13. It jumped up a little bit without KP. Did the 3-point attempts go up at all? 3 PA and this resets. So let me put KP back out. With KP out, he does take a few more, like half a 3 more. So I think that's a good look. I do think he's going to be out. So yeah, I think 2 threes that we need from him is a nice look. I'm going to put that in the leans for now. And see if we'd like to come back to that for JB. So Brown over 1.5, 3 p.m. That's -119 on FD. I think that's a pretty good look. So I'm going to put that in leans for right now and then dive into it a little bit more. But I want to keep moving so we can take a look at everyone's favorite white boy? I don't know if Hauser's everyone's favorite white boy. He's been really good in this series. I'll say that. So let's pull that up real quick. All right. Samuel Hauser. Do we think he's getting minutes in this game? Let me see what y'all are saying in the comments real quick. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense to Juice that they would just wait to keep KP for at home. Like, yeah, I don't know. I got to put Big Al in here too. Sonic VT put that up. I know I'm going ADD on y'all, but let me make sure I put Papa Al in here. Well, I got to save some stuff for when Daft gets in here, but I'm probably just going to make him tell us everything he wants to play. All right, let's look at Samuel Hauser. He's at 5.5 points still for plus money, 2 of the 3 games, but it's really all about the threes, right? Isn't it? So over 1.5 is plus money still. He's done that twice. What's the 3-point attempts at in this series? Let me see. Can I not? I can't pull that up for him. Whatever. Let me just go down here. 3 points. So he took 2 and made both of them. Then he took 5, made none of them. Then he took 4 and made 3 of them. So that's a pretty good 3-point percentage. There's not much. Is there any correlation to him doing this without Kristaps? Let's see that. Let me just go into StatMuse real quick and go Sam Hauser. Is that how you spell it? Okay. With and without Porzingis this season. So yeah, he does go up in points. I mean, we can't just rely on this. Obviously, he's not going to get 20 minutes in this game, so it doesn't even matter what his regular season stats were. But there's some correlation, just things going up for him. Takes another couple threes, makes another 3, an extra little 3 in there. Let's look at him in the playoffs without KP, and it's a different series, so it's not quite fair, but at least it's a decent sample size. I'm going to take the last 10 and make sure Kristaps is out here and see what that does for us. Kristaps being out in the playoffs has led to 2 of 10 overs, right? So it's not like Kristaps being out entirely helps him. In fact, yeah, it was game 2 that KP was out. And this is without, yeah. It was game 2 that KP was out of the other series. Well, he missed a lot of game 2, I should say, and he went 0 for 5 in that one. He looks pretty good right now. It's tough for me. I'm definitely not taking an under for him, but that's crazy, by the way. All right, I'm hitting it. Thank you for bringing that up, Jermaine. Because we're getting that, I'm taking JB out of the leans for his 3-point shot and just putting a half a unit on it because we get such a good number. That is crazy disparity. Is that really the case? So on FanDuel, 2 threes for JB. Wow. Yeah. Well, that makes sense because they have it as the other one. Wow. Minus 290, dog, for him to get 2 threes. I want to make sure this is pulling through correctly on DK. Player threes. Jaylen Brown, 2.5 is plus 145. I got to go into the game. Hang on. Why can't I? What am I doing wrong? All right, going into the game, looking at player threes. This probably moved while we were talking, didn't it? Yeah, it's down to minus 235. So that number's not available anymore. That sucks because the 2 for him would have been nice. That's crazy that we lost it that fast. So it's on Prize Picks now that they're still giving you good juice. That's an easy Prize Picks play right there. The other thing I like for him, let's do that real quick. I'm just going to put that together for myself. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if you have Prize Picks or not. And I understand this is not going to be as common of a book or whatever you want to call it. But there's a couple of things I really like in here that I'm going to put together real quick with some stuff. So I'm going to take here's what I like in this one. So I'm going to pull up Gafford. I really like under dunks for Gafford. This was brought to my attention by somebody else, but I don't think he's going to be in there long enough to get dunks. And the other thing I really like is if we can still get the 3-pointers made for JB. Let's see what that gives us. Oh, it's a little baby poo-poo goblin. That's what it is. But it's still not. So it's 2-1 for that play. That sucks. I still think that's a pretty good look, but I don't like the fact that it's. Man, I don't like the goblin. I hate the green goblins, to be honest with you guys. I absolutely loathe them because they just destroy the odds and make it not worth it at that point. Either way, let's put a little unit on this little 2-man action right here. Daniel Gafford, if you can get him under 2.5 dunks, I think that's a wonderful. Oh, I'm not even showing you guys what I'm doing. Apologies. Here's the play that I just put in for Hundo, which is Daniel Gafford under 2.5 dunks. Jaylen Brown more than 1.5 made threes. I hate that it's the goblin, like I was saying, but this is still something I really like to play here because I've been looking for things I can just add to the dunks, the under dunks. So that's going to be a Prize Picks play for those of y'all that have it. I'm going to say that right now. I understand that some of y'all won't, but for those of y'all that do, and for those of us that do, this is a really good look. Under 2.5 dunks. That's a crazy line for a dude that I still think Derek Lively's way more likely to play. So I'm going to put this in here as Prize Picks. So it's obvious, and I'll get off of it since I know not as many people have that book, but that's a really good look, yo. So going to love that there. Let me keep it moving and get out of Prize Picks and get back to what we're talking about here, which was Sammy Hauser. it's unreliable. I mean, I still think they like the minutes they've gotten from him. Let's put in the leans for right now because I really do want to play that for Sam Hauser. It's just I can't guarantee the minutes will always be there for him. Like, what have the minutes been? Real quick, let me take KP out of here. What's Sam Hauser's minutes been? Minutes 13.4. So in this series, about 13 as well. And the average shots for him from 3, 7, 11 in 3 games, basically 4 shots a game. So he's got to hit 2 of them. Still got to hit a really high percentage of his threes, you know. They might have a little bit better defense. I'm going to stay away from Hauser. I am not going to talk anybody off of that. For me, I'm putting up money today, man, and I don't want to put it on him. So let me see. I'm going to keep moving from him. Let's talk about Papa Al while we're just on the Celtics for a minute. Let me move him up and he can cut the line real quick. Also, I don't want Kevin to have to keep typing Al Horford in there 100 million times. I see you, Kev. I see you. Look at this from Kev. 4 times with the Al stuff. Damn. All right. I can't keep rewarding this behavior. This is the last one I'm giving you, Kev. But let's see. I appreciate the participation either way. Yo, I mean, Al Horford last game under on the rebounds. He went 2 for 5 from deep. Let's see what we got here. We got 9 points on PP. Prize picks, we got 9.5 on these regular sports books, right? So for Papa Al at 9.5 points, 8, 5, and 10. That's a high number, man. And this number was probably low. Let me see what his prop was without KP. I believe it was 7.5 in the first one, right? If you don't yet know about Betting Pros, this is the wrong link. If you don't yet know about Betting Pros, that's what I'm trying to bring up. Nas, man. Poor Nas Reed. This is how you can find previous lines for a dude. So you want to know if the price that you're paying for a guy is worth it or if it's jumped up because the books pushed it up, right? So for Al, if we look at the points, I currently have him on points right here. And I'm scrolling down to see his player game log on Betting Pros, which shows me what his lines have been. And yeah, game 1 was 7.5, game 2, 8.5. Now it's jumped up to 9.5. I don't love that. I got to be honest with you. I hate that I have to get 10 points from him. How often has he done this in the playoffs? Let's put this at over. In the last 10, he's gone over in 4 of these games. Let's do the last 20 without KP. So without Kristaps, and one more thing I want to show you in one sec, but without Kristaps, he's had some nice shooting games, as we know. Let's look at the threes real quick. Yeah, 12 threes against the Pacers. The Pacers were just leaving him wide open. In this one game that he played last game, 2 for 5. What's his threes at? That's a better look. Okay, so it's minus 145 or so for the over 1.5 threes for Al. That makes it super not worth it. I'm going to be honest with you. I got to pass on the threes. The boards would be another look that, like, I know PB's been going under on the rebounds. I still think it's 7.5. Is that where we're at here? And the under is minus 115. Looks like Outliers telling us that this is an EV plus bet, meaning that going under for Al Horford 7.5 rebounds is going to hit and make you money over time. That's essentially what that means without going too far into EV in this episode of the show. But yeah, I think the rebounds is still a play for him in the under, right? Yeah, Shane's talking about the under. That's true, though. It is not a bad look. I mean, if you want to project that how Al's effort is going to be, essentially, I mean, I don't know if he cares about even playing anymore. I think he just cares about. Did I put Halford up? Is that what I'm giving me shit? Or are you talking about somebody else? Yeah. For Al, or was Kev saying Halford? All right. Let me keep it moving. For Al, damn, bro. You want a safe prop? I like under 4.5 turnovers. That's one of my favorite bets. That's why I'm willing to drink that minus 140 juice. Celtics in 5. So you like the Dallas money line in this game, huh? Wing plate. That's interesting. I mean, I can see it. It's going to come down to does Boston hit its threes? They've been making threes. So the 7.5 rebounds, he's gone over hella. And let me put this without KP, though. So we're going to take Kristaps out and see what that does to his numbers. So he's averaging 6.45 in the last 20 games without KP. If we dumb this down to the playoffs, we're looking at this as his first game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the last 10 without KP we can do. And that's all the playoff games. So these are all 10 playoff games without Kristaps. This is on the under, so that's why you see these over. So the under has hit 60% of the time. He is averaging 7.2 boards. So he's right on the cusp, and I don't think the minus 115 is necessarily worth it. The rebound chances for our guy here in these games is at 11.9 to pull down 8 on 12. It's a pretty high rebound percentage success rate if he does that. He had 9 rebound chances in this last game. Let me go back into the matchups real quick. So I'm back into the box score for game 3. This is the last game without KP. I'm going to go into the matchups here by changing traditional to matchups and seeing who Al was guarding, which I believe was no longer, it wasn't quite, it was still some PJ Washington. He was on some of the non-shooters though. So when he's on Derek Lively, let's see, he's on D Lively, then he's going to be closer to the basket, having to box out someone who's going for all the boards. When he's on everybody else, that's not as big of a deal, to be honest. He's going to be standing further from the basket against the other guys. I still think Al is a good under on the boards. I'm going to put that in the leans for right now so I can also keep it moving. Look at a couple other things here. But I'm going to put Al under boards. Horford under 7.5 rebs as a lean. That's minus 115 as of right now. So we'll keep that in mind. I think that's still a pretty decent look for Al, for Uncle Al, Papa Al, whatever you want to call him. Let's get into a couple of these other looks that we have here. I've got Kyrie and Drew, all these guys. So let's look at Kyrie next and see what he's looking like here. Let's see real quick. And yeah, I do have it. Yeah, the extender is roughing tonight, aka Scott Foster. I know that is something that people talk about. I don't buy into it quite as much. I guess 62% of the time it's like kind of extended, but Scott Foster doesn't scare me from taking stuff here. Let me see about some Kyrie de God. Yeah, with the Kyrie. All right, we're getting up there in points. 24.5 is a lot. I know he came out of his shell finally last game. I think he's much more mentally strong than Luca. The other thing that scares me is like, I don't know, blowout could be there. It was a blowout last game until Boston just stopped trying. So I still want to give all the credit to Boston sucking at the end rather than these other two dudes, the Dallas squad making their shots, right? Let me look at this. I know Prop Bomb, I believe, is on under rebounds and assists for Kyrie de God, if you will. In the rebounds and assists for our guy, they've been pretty under for sure. If we look at the last 20, which is all these playoff games, okay, he was going over. This is a different series, though. We definitely know that. Wow, he was doing work in these first couple bunch of series. And then against Minnesota, he went over in the first 2. Yeah, so he's under in all 3 versus Boston. That's really interesting. Let's look at the potentials real quick. Potential assists for our boy in this series. Did have 14 in this game. Still only managed 3 dimes. Or no, he got 6, excuse me. 6 dimes in this game. 2 boards on 8 rebound chances. What are the rebounds at alone, to be honest with you? Rebounds are at, they're down to 3.5 because he's gone under in this series. They were at 4.5, I'm pretty sure. Let me put Kyrie in here to see what his stuff has recently been. Kyrie rebounding. Let's see here. Put the rebounds in there. The prop line. So yeah, it's been at 3.5 pretty consistently actually, and he's gone over pretty consistently as well. What were his rebound chances really remaining at? Not too. Yeah, I mean 5, 5, 8, 6. He was doing a little bit more work at the beginning. I think that's a pretty good look. The under rebounds and assists that he was calling for. So that means the assists though are at 4, right, or 4.5. Let me see real quick. So that 4.5 and the under is minus 110. Kind of like that too. What's been the actual dime? So you got 6 in this game. This is right on the cusp for me, honestly. I think the under rebounds and assists is a good look, especially if you think his points are going to be there. Maybe we do something like that for Kyrie. I think we might be looking at some more same game parlays, to be honest, as we try to trim some of this stuff down and make ourselves feel good about it. Let me see if Def's still not around. All right. Yeah, I don't trust either of them. If you're talking about the over for Kyrie rebounds or assists, I don't really see it. I'm just looking at a couple of the comments too, seeing if you guys are saying anything about it. Oh, good look from Norman. I appreciate you sharing this, man. From Underdog. Status alert that KP went through pregame warmups on Friday. Interesting. Maybe the Al under rebounds is already a good play in the event that we see any Kristaps, to be honest with you. I think we just got to put that in there. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that in there, to be honest with you. I'm going to just get into that right now. Yeah, I think that's. I mean, look, I don't know what kind of Kristaps we're going to get, but I got to imagine if they're playing him that there's no risk of further injury essentially, and that he's not going to just be out there to be worthless. Horford under 7.5 rebounds. I'm putting it in there for 0.5 U, and that is minus 115 on. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Where are you at? Papa Al's gonna be at about 9 points, right? Let's see what his rebounds are at. Under is minus 115 on. Yeah, FD. All right, cool. Let's roll with it. Because I do think that if there's a possibility that Kristaps plays, that helps. They did play together. I don't want to just say automatically he's going to go down, but yeah, closeout game for Kyrie is still a good look. Let's put that in there. I'm pretty sure Kyrie has some pretty good numbers. Well, in elimination games, and I was actually looking at this earlier. They are good. Kyrie, and you can't just solely rely on this, but Kyrie Irving. Let's not even call this a closeout game. Let's call it elimination game. So in elimination games, he's averaged 27. He's gone under in 3 of them, though. 1, 2, 3. And this is a long time ago. So, I mean, whatever. I don't know how much you want to rely on this. I mean, he was still on Brooklyn in this game. He was on Boston in this one when they got smacked by Milwaukee, and then Milwaukee goes to the chip, right? Or I can't remember if it was that same season. And then Cleveland is just so not helpful. The last 2, though, he's gone under. I don't know that you want to use anything about Kyrie in a closeout game necessarily. So, I'm not super confident in that with Kyrie points, but still feels like he found something in this last game. He took a lot of tough shots, man, and Drew Holiday's still going to be stuck to him like glue. So be careful with that. I got Papa Allen here, though, for an under on the boards. For Kyrie, I really don't want to bet on Kyrie, man. I'll be honest with you. Is he 14-1 as his record? He hasn't even. You're talking about closeout games, though, right, Nick? Like, I don't think that we're talking about straight elimination games there. I'm not positive. Maybe it's elimination games either way. But yeah, Kyrie ball hogging tonight seems like a play, especially if Luca decides that mentally he's going to be out of it once again. I think the under is still a good look on the rebounds and assists. I still need to give Prop Bomb credit for that if we hit that. So let me put that in here as a lean for right now. We can come back to it in a minute. I'm hoping too that Daft will give me some insight on his insights on some of these leans, and we can turn them into bets if we like them. We're going to go Kyrie under 8.5 RA for right now, and that's minus 119, I believe. So we'll leave that up in the leans. That's scrolling on the bottom line. Everything that I've already played is down there, plus the leans that we got as well. Want to keep track of the time. All right, it's still good. Well, we got 2 hours till game time. We're still good. We got 45 minutes or so left in this thing. Let's see. Whoa. Stan, what are you talking about? Stat leader parlay. Oh, it's a parlay. Got you. Yeah. I usually stay away from like the pre-made SGPs that they give us, but still, if it's worth it on if it's worth it on in terms of the numbers there, it could still be good look. I'm trying to think of anything else that would help me with Kyrie. Let's see what I would be looking at here. So I'm looking at matchups one more time in this game, and I'm seeing how often was Drew guarding Kyrie the God. Yeah, for most of the time. Like, he's going to try to switch off of him, and he didn't. So he had 18 points. He shot really well against Drew in this game. Let me see how tough some of these shots were when Drew was the primary defender. All right, so this is the opening game. By the way, had a brilliant call in the Discord from someone who hit Kyrie first field goal. Let me get out of this one. All right, this is a jump shot versus Drew, where he is not going to see. I mean, geez, he's almost blocking it. Like, if Kyrie's making all those tough shots, God bless. But, like, do you want to bet on that again? I guess it's like the Drew defense is there, yo. So that's what it is. Let's see. He gets by Drew because Drew's got to help. All right, they're a little bit imbalanced. I would argue that was a terrible closeout right here. Let me go back real quick. Nope, not this one. This is the floater, right? All right, so I don't know why you would even jump at Derrick Jones Jr. like that. First of all, Jaylen Brown. And then right here, Drew, just let Derrick Jones Jr. have that shot. Yeah, so I think that'll be a bit more of Drew's just like, yo, I'm not leaving Kyrie. That would be my fear with Kyrie is like, after he does his thing and almost helps them to the victory, like even right there, what is Drew doing? Why are you staring at the ball down low? There's already 2 guys guarding Gafford. Like, you don't got to be out there. You see what I'm saying? He's just staring at the ball for some reason, standing far off of Kyrie. You can't be doing that, man. And Kyrie didn't even reposition. Kyrie's in the same spot the whole time. So I think there's a lot of tape here that shows that Drew could have been a lot better against him in this game. So I'm out on that. Honestly, bro, Sharsh, it doesn't even matter who I say because the odds here are minus 360 for JB to win this thing. I do think it's JB followed by Drew Holiday. And we were talking in the Discord. I didn't give it out because I didn't play it. But yeah, like I was talking about Drew at plus 4,500 or whatever it was pre series. That like I like Drew to. This could be a Drew series, and it has been. I still don't think that like he's as good of a look at this point. Minus 360 for Jaylen Brown to win that MVP. Like you don't. There's gonna have to be if this game ends the series, you're gonna be like, yes, you minus 360. Shit, Drew might even still be worth it. Plus 7,500. Jason Tatum had one good game. Drew's still been doing everything. I don't know. That's a different combo for now. But if for me, the MVP is Jaylen Brown. That's not even a question. I also mentioned him. Just want to bring that up too. Mentioned him as the other good look. So hopefully some of y'all got Jaylen Brown, which I gave out in the Discord as well. If you did, great. If not, all good. But let me get Instagram back online here because they always be shutting down. It's a piece of crap. Hold up one sec. Let me know if y'all what you guys like for what was the bet that I was just pulling up. Let me know what you like in a sec. Hold on. Let me just do this and focus for 1 second. Get this back up. Get the audience from IG back in here. Don't want to leave our IG homies hanging. Copy that. All right. Keep it moving too. Save those changes. Go live in a sec. All right. The supporting myself here. Yeah, Daryl's talking about Scott Foster too. I feel that. Let me see. You're talking about D White. 10 points as a parlay leg. Yeah. Oh yeah. If you're taking an alt on D White 10 plus points, I think you got to feel great about that, right? Let me just answer your question since you asked a direct one. Let me know what you think about D White too. I always want to hear what your reasoning is. My stuff for D White. Let's see. When's the last time he didn't get 10 points? This is a game against Cleveland. I think that was the closeout game where it was. Yeah. I guess he had a bad series against Cleveland in general, right? Let's look at the last 20. So 10 points. Let's see. Since the playoffs started right here, he's only failed to get 10 points one time in that game against Cleveland. I think you're pretty safe, bro. Like I like his threes. If he hits 3 threes, right, we're talking about 9 points already. I like that too. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good look. I forgot. Yeah, CL Silverback. Yeah, if that's where you're at, I think that's a really good parlay leg for sure. Yeah. Okay. So JK's talking about points and assists, just assists in case he's more aggro looking to score. That's a good point. I still think he's going to be looking to pass off of some of those drives because it's been really good. But yeah, it's a good. I mean, it is bad for business, bro. That's why you bring the extender into. But look, also it happened to be the rotation for Scott Foster to be the referee tonight, just based on like the crew chief of this game specifically. But you could also argue that putting Scott Foster ahead of time and seeing him as they put him as the ref well before the series, like before the series started. So they probably did that on purpose, being like, yo, I think, right, like if this thing is down 0-3, let's make sure we have Scott Foster refereeing the end of this series in game 4. So yeah. And if it was Scott Foster against CP3, he hates that dude. All the refs hate CP3. And I'll be honest with you, he's kind of a prick, just from what I know too. But let's see real quick. All right, keeping it moving. D White, love that look. Let me get back into supporting myself. So for Kyrie, if you're going to take anything, I've got the under RA as a lean. I think the ball hoggery that was talked about here a minute ago is probably likely for Kyrie to God. So keep that in mind. Let's look at Drew. And I got Drew and D White sort of back to back for a reason. These dudes both obviously sort of play with each other. Oh no, Daft can't make it because he's rolling with his daughter to her swim lesson. That's what a good dad, man. So glad I'm not a dad yet. But anyway, let's keep it moving here real quick. All right, let's get into Drew. Drew Boo, where you at, Drew? Because you know I like the threes for D White. Now it's at 3.5, so keep that in mind. But let's let me just pull up Drew right away, right here. Drew, what's your stuff at here, Drew? All right, let's start with those points. Obviously, just a nice, easy starting point. So we're at 12.5. The shots ain't been there though, right? Now he's gone over comfortably, except for in this series, the 12.5. He only hit 12 in this game, hit 9 in this one. I think you dumbed Drew's stuff down. Oh no, Daft, I was just commending you for being a good dad, and now you're up in here. What's good, bro?
Hey,
I'll add you to the stage. Hold on one sec. You got a few minutes for us, though?
Yeah, I got everything for you. No, I tried to be a good dad, but I put my daughter's swimmers on, and she decided we ain't going today. And I was like, "Fuck
Oh,
it, I'm
damn.
streaming, baby."
That's like when I got to take my dog out, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I don't really want to," and I'm like, "Well, shit, bro, neither do I. So let's not do it."
Yeah, exactly that.
All right, hold on one second. We'll get you in here with everything. I'll bring you up on stage real quick. I'll just take this stuff off anyway. Let me get you up in her. All right, got you in here. Let me just take this down so that it's not weird looking for one sec. What's good, bro? How you feeling?
I'm a little bit dusty.
Are you?
Yep, meaning I just woke up. So
better than zesty, right?
I prefer to feel that way right now, to be honest.
So I'm on Drew right now. Do you have any insights while I pull up something that will make this stream look better real quick?
Yeah, I can chop it up. Why not? Drew Holiday. What are we thinking? I'm just referring to my notes.
RA was the first question for him. The rebounds and assists was definitely the first.
10.5.
It's still 10.5. I think it's pretty good money for the over. I'll pull it up real quick in one sec.
Yeah, I think we still saw pretty decent potential assist numbers. The rebounds were let down in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
The rebound numbers in the last game was the most unpredictable thing, really. Nothing necessarily went according to plan.
Yeah.
For a lot of these guys in Boston, to be honest. Jaylen Brown had the most rebound chances in that last game.
Yeah.
But then he actually collected the most. I think he had 4 or 5 rebounds in the fourth quarter.
Oh, is that when he got him? That's a pretty good look, actually. If that's
so then I was like, I don't know if I can go back to Tatum rebounds. I'm not sure about Jaylen Brown rebounds. But in the fourth quarter, we saw a lot of Tatum and Doncic in the fourth, which is where Jaylen Brown got a lot of his rebounds. He was in the Jason Tatum spot.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it was. I think I lent to the under, really. Let me double check my notes real quick.
The under for who?
For Drew. I was looking at the 10.5. It actually didn't even make my list of leans. I think I might have got to the conclusion that I got no idea what this man's going to do.
For Drew Holiday? Yeah, that's fair. Let me pull that back up here real quick. The rebounds and assists. I kind of agree. I know he barely missed it last game, to be honest. I think you were talking about the chances, though, down. Yeah. Rebound chances 11. Potential assists were still at 9. To collect 5 and 4. It's probably about accurate, to be honest.
What's your script for this game, by the way? Do we get another game out of this, or is this our last NBA stream?
I'm sad to say that, and I've been keeping it to myself for most of the stream so far. I don't think we're getting another game. I don't know how you like.
I just got this freaking neon light for my background too, and this is the last stream we're gonna do.
I know, dude. Yeah, your shit looks good, dude. You got your camera with a little bit of blur in the background. You're nice and focused.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your shit looks good, man.
Got my J's.
The WNBA, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with Drew either. I definitely lean towards the rebounds and assists. I don't want to have to choose one of them. I don't even think like a Drew 4 and 4 or like a 10-4 and 4 thing for Drew might be a decent play. You probably get shite odds, right? Let me put that up real quick. And I do think throwing a 3 in there for Drew is still a good play, although I don't think he had it last time. What's his 10 plus at? Minus 300. Okay, that's a start. The Rebs at 4.
Yep.
Okay, minus 480, not great. I think the rebounds are actually probably the best play. If you take 5 of them, which is what his prop is at. Okay, this gets you to plus 111 for him to get 10-4 and 4, right?
Yeah.
I don't hate that. I think that's the preferred way to play Drew. You can't get 4 as your alt line on DK. I know that.
Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You can't do alternate unders, can you?
Not on FanDuel, unless that's changed, but I don't believe so. Yeah, no.
Because he's at 13.5. If you could bump that to 15.5 and take it under, that's probably a good look. But
okay. Hold on. Let me see about what you talking. Let me see about what you talking. God, DraftKings, just let me. I hate the arrows on the going left and right. Like, what are you doing? We all have mouses that can just go slide side to side, man. All right, same game parlay. Let me. Oh, will they give us all unders on this? So where were you talking about the under? Under 15.5 RA?
No, I'd be thinking if I was going to do a same game parlay for Drew, I'd be thinking more of like an under 15.5, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Because if just looking at his normal line, I'd probably lean to the under, and it just pretty lines up with what I said before the last game. The volume's not there. In the game where he scored a lot of points, he shot like 70%, which is unlikely. He shot the ball only 9 times in the last game, so he went under. So I don't see his volume skyrocketing in this game. So if I was to bet on Drew and we did a same game parlay, I'd probably take under 15.5 if you can get that with 4 rebounds and 4 assists.
Not giving it to us on DK, and you can't do the alt over under on FanDuel. So you probably have to get some 365 love in here if you wanted to find that as a play. To be honest,
yeah.
I wish we could just do Drew Holiday 19 screens that he fought over the top of. Like nobody gets over a screen like Drew Holiday around the 3-point line. Fucking love that guy.
Oh, beautiful.
It's still a good hit rate for the RA. It's just, let me pull that back up. Actually, we're looking at the last 10. Obviously, it's still a super solid hit rate, and he's averaging 12. If we look at the last 20, though, the beginning of the playoffs was a little bit different for him. Still got there pretty consistently, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. So where's the first Miami game at? Right here. So still really close on a lot of these, but yeah, I think I got to stay away from Drew in this one. Wait, Drew, help me out here. Where can you alt under on FanDuel? Why am I not seeing that? If that is really the case. The high minutes. So that's a good point. Ramon's talking about making sure that we get the minutes in there. Show me where that's at, dude. I don't use FanDuel nearly as much, to be honest with you, and I usually stick to the core stuff. But yeah, I'm not taking an under on a rebounds and assists for Drew. Just for everybody in the chat. Let me put the minutes in there. To your point, let's. I mean, he's gonna play another 40, right? Like unless this thing's a blowout. So it's still pretty much the same hit rate. Honestly, it's like yeah, he's averaging 13. He's up at 9 of his last 11. Where he's done this, and this is rebounds and assists. Last 20, and then yeah, so you actually have to go back to when he was not on this squad. So these are the only games in this season where he's played 40 minutes. So it's still like this is him on Milwaukee, right? This is not the same concept. So let's just keep that in mind. Right. These are this 3 of 5. So it's similar hit rate to what he's been doing. There's really not much to tell me. It's a good thought, Ramon. It's just there's not as much to tell me that. So you're saying scroll down, and I'm gonna get some alt. Oh, right. It just opens it up.
You do get yeah, I thought you would because honestly, this FanDuel is almost exactly the same as the app that I'm using.
Yeah, they just set it up. It's a great call. I feel like an idiot. I look like an idiot, to be fair to me.
I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. So it's all right if you feel that way.
Right. I just feel that way. You know, that's not reality, but that's how I feel. All right. So we're talking about Drew. God damn. It's cool. This is my full-time job too. So you can tell I'm fucking good at it. If we go down to Drew points.
Yeah, here we go.
All right. What are you going to
show me more?
What do you got for me? So under so yeah, we can't get to 15.5.
I got 14.5 as well. That was the highest I could go. So let me just do the quick conversion. For under 14.5 plus 4 rebounds plus 4 assists,
right here.
I got plus 162.
Okay.
Australia for the win.
Yeah, Australia's winning on that one. The boys down under for the Drew Holiday bet. A little bit better. Interesting. Okay. I don't hate that. It's not even a BOB, right? This is just,
this is just if he just goes out and goes to work, like he could do that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And we're getting a little bit of juice here. We're catching up to the Australian books right now. Got another cent here on my play. I don't hate that. So we don't think the points should be there for Drew moving forward necessarily. 12.5. Yeah, let me go back into his stuff real quick. So if I'm looking at his points alone, if we put this we got the last 10, it doesn't matter. These are different teams, man. Like, and I know he went over against Cleveland. That's when Derrick White was struggling. Now, yeah, I think I do think it's Derrick White. And I know there was someone in the Discord that was actually like on Drew Holiday more than D White. I think it's D White more than Drew Holiday today, to be honest. I did take some stuff for D White, but yeah, I think that's a good look. I'm gonna put that in right now. Actually, I'm gonna. Did you fire that, Daft?
I'm about to.
Hell yeah, let's ride.
Just because you're doing it, I thought
Let's ride under 14.5 points slash 4+ boards slash 4+ assists for Drew. Yeah, I mean, man, if this is the last game, gotta get some ducats down, right? Although my wife would really like me to cash out as much as I have in the account right now, so I gotta be careful. But she can't hear me because she's downstairs. So yeah, and that's what I was fucking doing yesterday instead of WNBA live streaming, was talking to a financial advisor. What the fuck is happening to me, man? All right, let's keep it rolling. Drew, we got in there. Let's talk about D White. Do you want to throw a play out there before I go? I know I talked about a lot of dudes before you came on. Pause. But I
just thought about dudes before I came on. So
yeah, that's good. But no Diddy. But the leans that I have, I'll ask you about those, and then but first you give me if you have anything that I can throw on the bottom line here.
When I looked at it, I was like, oh, I like the 3-point line for D Light, but that moved real quick. Odds came down. But yeah, I think the thing is, when you look at him, he's relatively consistent. Like you could argue that his lines are pretty on point. He's very close to all of them every single time.
Yeah.
What is it about him that makes you think that this is his game?
So it's not necessarily like, well, it's his game more than Drew's game. It's really just about like who's the guy that they want taking a shot at the end of the rotation of the ball around the perimeter. And from what I've seen, like it's just at this point in the playoffs where it's just like it's volume. It's just straight volume. And so he's still taking a ton of threes, right? He's taken 9 per game in this series. So that's why I felt comfortable having him hit 3 of those, because I still think he's going to be at 8 or 9, which I'm fine with taking him to hit 3. 3.5 is not worth it. For him to hit 4 at like plus 145, putting it through the little baby model that I have, it's not going to give you enough of an edge to take the 4 threes for him. But the 3 threes, if you add it to I added it to PJ to get 2 threes. And that's what I feel the most comfortable about. But PJ is at 1.5 threes for like minus 185 as the best number, right? So that's where all that stuff came from. What are your thoughts there? Like, it's the volume for him. PJ I can go into in one sec, but it's just volume for starters for D White.
Yeah, the 3-pointers is that was the best look I had on Derrick White. Whoa, bit of inception.
Hella meta.
Yeah, that's the way that I'd be looking at it. But in terms of his other props, nothing stood out to me to go for a straight bet. I actually didn't go too wild with straight bets in this one. I was just too conflicted, really, about everything, because the first game in Dallas we were always going to see some different shit, and different it was. It didn't go according to the script. And when I say script, the way that you thought it would be, because the first 2 games are relatively similar. So, yeah, I thought Derrick White, solid. You could probably look at a similar play that we've done with Drew with some alternate plays, because he's consistent, right? He's not too different. I think we could look at an alternate under on his assists. I think every game I've said it, and I think you might be thinking the same. Yeah. The under in his assists look great, but for some fucking reason, he gets the assists on barely any potential assists. Like, is this ball bouncing off his face into Jaylen Brown's hand for a dunk or something? Like,
let me look at the playoffs.
Do you want to check the NBA? How's he scooping these things up?
So I have the drives up, and the reason I want to see drives is because, like, when they run him off the line, I think that's when he gets a lot of his assists. But he's only got 1.7 drives per game in the finals right now. He's passing off of that 40% of the time. So maybe it's not actually the drives. I don't know. I can tell you 2 of the assists.
Is it transition?
It's just the ball moving around the 3-point line. That's how I've seen the majority of his. He has Prop brought it up because I was telling him on the stream a couple of days ago how, like, I took Derrick White under 4.8 assists per game for the series, which looks really good right now. He's at 11 in 3 games, right? So he's under 4 right now, which is still helpful. And part because what were we talking about? The assist for him. Why did I bring that up? I just completely lost my train of thought. I don't even remember. And he's the one that brought up that Derrick White was getting the bulk of his assists to other 3-point shooters. Like, he's not finding dudes down low necessarily. And there's never really anybody down low, so you're not going to find a post-up guy down there. But he is finding dudes around the 3-point line the same way that he's the recipient of that same type of ball movement. So that's the majority of these assists for a team that shoots 43 fucking threes anyway every game, right? So it adds up. but I haven't seen much. Like the driving stuff is huge because it's not the drives for him. In fact, the Tatum and Brown are the ones driving and getting more assists than they ever have off of those drives, and he's been the recipient of that stuff. So that's still why I like the threes for him and nothing else. I think that's about it, honestly, for Derrick White. Like I don't have anything else for it. There's nothing in, like, he's guarding PJ Washington a little bit more now. If that does anything for you to help you with like rebounds, if anybody likes that, but nothing that gives me a huge edge to take an over on anything with D White, right? So
nothing for a straight bet for me, really. But
did you add him in any of his stuff to
I've got, I think I've just taken him down for 2 3-pointers in the bat.
Okay.
But you've got good insights on the threes anyway. A lot of it is volume. He only needs to shoot 30 to 40%, and that will be fine. But I'm just got my FanDuel equivalent up and mucking around. And if I take over 12.5 points, over 3.5 rebounds, and we take under 4.5 assists, plus 210.
For D White.
Yeah. Because I don't love any of his bets straight up his props. But if I be a little bit of a casual and bitch it a little bit, bitch ass parlay this thing, and we reduce a couple of things and move them in the right direction, it doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah.
If we were to project his stat line, what are we thinking? 17, 18 points, 4 to 5 rebounds, and 3 or 4 assists?
Yeah. That feels pretty
that
close.
Seems like a Derrick White thing to do.
Yeah. So you're saying about 15 points?
Yeah.
And then you would like, on top of that, about 3 to 4 assists, and probably the same with the rebounds.
I think what could help me actually is if you go to the PRA tab, it'll just show you what his points, rebounds, assists are in each game in the graph. Yeah.
I mean, that's anywhere from 22 to 30.
Yeah, but if you look at the individual breakdown for points, what's the floor? 12
for the points?
Yeah. What's a safe spot there? 12 to 13.
Yeah.
So you can get 12.5
against Cleveland. So, whatever you want to do with that.
Yeah.
He's been really good since then. He's gotten at least 13 in all these games since the Cleveland series.
Yeah. I think it's probably the assists. That's the biggest risk if I look at the under 4.5, because I can't see myself taking an over in his assists in this series.
Yeah.
I mean, the potentials are terrible.
Look at that. How did he get? Oh, wow. Yeah. So he got 5 assists in game 1 without getting the potential assists. I don't know how to explain that to people fully, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I usually just keep talking past it when I see it because I can't explain it either.
I think it's a discrepancy between the tracking data and the scorekeeper, to be honest with you. I don't even think he should have gotten 5 assists in that game. Like 2 of those were just like Tatum just dribbled the ball 6 times before he got to the bucket, and you gave him an assist.
Twing.
Crazy.
Gets the assist.
So I'm sticking with threes, man.
I reckon stick with threes as well.
Yeah, that's where we're at with D-White. I agree entirely. So let's move on with that real quick. Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry, because we have a W look, and I gotta at least mention it. Much more confidence in Lynx, Collier, McBride, and Hamby tonight. I hate to say this. I have 2 prize picks plays with under Hamby fantasy points and under McBride threes made. So that's just my one thought. And I have under 4 assists for Collier tonight, just as another play. And I apologize to the Discord. I didn't put those in because I was rushing a bunch of other stuff. I was covering Germany versus Scotland. I'm not going to lie to you. I had to talk about soccer for another account. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to give a shit about that. But
whilst we got the W in mind real quick, I think the only play I'll be taking today is on Cardoso. Was that his name? Cardoso?
Cardoso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the girl that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Big game. Rebounds, points, double. I'll have a taste
big
of that.
Woman. She's like 6'7".
I didn't want to say that, but
hey, man, we're talking about basketball players. I got to talk about basketball players. I had somebody in my comments, because I said, guys coming off the bench in the WNBA.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you don't even know if it's a girl or a guy. It's like, dog, I don't see gender. I'm just talking about hoop right now. What are you talking about? So, and I started talking about Stephanie Dolson one time and was like, oh, she's big. It's like, fuck, man, she is. She's like 6'3", fucking 230. Like, sorry, she's big. That's just what it is.
I watched that Mercury game yesterday, and all I was thinking about BG is like, shit, she big,
fucking
huge.
He is a beast, and her wife is super hot. Let's keep it moving. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. But congrats on the new baby for BG. All right, keeping it moving. Apologize to everybody for being the piece of shit I am. Let's talk about a couple other guys here, man. Where are we at right here? We got Drew and D White covered, I believe. Let's just do a quick little roundabout here with the big men on Dallas.
Oh,
does this seem like a Derek Lively once again? Like Kristaps out back at home, that screams Derek Lively over Daniel Gafford. No,
I said what I said in the last stream. It's the same thing. He only got so many minutes because he was most effective in that game. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Gafford has a strong first quarter, gets points, rebounds, stays out of foul trouble. He could get 25 minutes.
Yeah,
like
wrong.
But the look that I had, I was like, oh, can I get to Lively assists? Because he's he's points. Sorry, rebounds. Fuck. I just woke up. 26 rebound chances in that last game for Lively, but that coincides with a whole lot of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
was it 29 in this last game? No, he
30. 30, right. NBA.com, I think, had it at 26 when I looked at it last night. But regardless,
this is 30 minutes.
Minutes, sorry. Yeah. 26 rebound chances. Yeah. So I was like, can I get to rebounds? But that coincides with the minutes. He had a lot more minutes, a lot more opportunity. Okay. He's only going to get these minutes depending on how effective, it's not how effective Lively is. It's how bad is Gafford in that first quarter.
Yeah.
Like Gafford only played 15 to 16 minutes. I think he was a minus 16 when he was on the court. Whereas Lively, I think, was +6.
You're totally right. And if Thiv is in here, Thiv, let us know what you think about the centers, man. Remember Thiv came in hot talking.
Yeah.
How do you forget Thiv? Let me see. All right. I'm just talking about pics of chicks. My boy like chocolate. You're not wrong either. I mean, whatever. Let's move past it. All right.
You got a tweet too.
Damn, dude. We always end up off the rails. I'm not mad at it. I live for these live streams, bro. All right. So here's what I did real quick. I put Lively 20 to 26 minutes. I think that's a fair window, right, for him. If we're looking at this is the last 10 over in 6 of 10 when he gets between 20 to 26 minutes. He's averaging 7.7. This is just the rebounds, by the way. And the rebound chances in this amount of time, which is mostly what I wanted to look at, was because you were talking about how 26 rebound chances came on 30 minutes, which is still an absurd amount of rebound chances. But it is indicative of if you drop the minutes to 20 to 26, you're still looking at about 13 rebound chances per game in the last 10 alone here that he's played this amount of time. And so the playoffs would be 7 of those games. Where he's and so in those playoff games, he's actually it's about the same percentage. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 to the over on the boards. So I think what we're saying here is that it's too much unknown, like you said, right? Like
you've got that filter on what 20 to 26, right? 20 to 26. Whereas in most series, I think that's a good look. But the thing is, he hasn't played 20 to 26 minutes in one game in this series. He's either gotten fuck all minutes or he got a shit ton. Right. So.
Right.
And that's dependent on how he plays, foul trouble, what Gafford's doing out there. So
yeah. Don't mess with it, y'all. I mean, it just doesn't seem worth it.
You can catch it live, probably, because
exactly.
If Gafford's terrible in that first quarter, it's a lively game.
Yeah. Do we have any head-to-head props here? Sometimes on FanDuel, they give us the head-to-head for teammates, but I don't see that up. They've gotten scared. Mike and I were always looking at these, and they scurred, man. So sad. Oh, well. I'm not going to worry about that. I think I'll move past these dudes for a minute. Did you have anything else?
Michael McIntosh has it might right. Just play with this part with me here. What if we ran a parlay for Gafford to go over points and rebounds with Lively to go under points and rebounds, and then you do another parlay and do the opposite to kind of cover for the bitch or beast, right? You got them both in the same play. Right. You know what I'm saying?
We're doing this. Let's talk about it. You're the BOB master. So walk me through this. All right. I'm going to go into FanDuel.
Is there correlation there? Do you think that's how it plays out? Like, because the last game it worked. Lively went over in both. Gafford under in both.
Right.
That big game where that Gafford went over. I think that was game 2. I think 3, 2. Yeah, 2. Game 2. Gafford had a strong game.
Yep.
I think Lively went under in his points, but maybe over in his boards. But could there be correlation there?
Game 1, right?
Yeah. But that was Chris Stubbs.
Right.
The Chris Stubbs effect.
All right, so I'm going to pull up Gafford here. So you're wondering, does Gafford do well in the? But game one, they both were ass, right? We've established that.
Yeah.
The points here, game 1, 8, and what was? Let me just pull up the PRA, like you said. This is the way to do it. You wily veteran of Outlier.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in this series, 12, 22, 10. Yeah, so game 2 is his big game. 3 and 8, 13 and 9, and then 6 and 3. Ha! That's awesome. So, okay, so what we would do is 2 bets. One is over for Gafford, while under for Lively, and the other one is the inverse of that, right?
Yep.
I think that if we can find good plus money on that, then yeah, we got to get these to like 3-1 though, right?
Yeah.
So let's go start with Gafford, and let me go into FanDuel. Let's start with Gafford, and we'll do player points for Gagford, as Mike calls him. So let's start with the over. Would we take an alt over, or do you want to just take the plus money on the core line here?
Well, I'm thinking if these guys go over, is it just, or is it they hit 10? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, let's see. For Gafford, if we look at we're on points right now, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, in these last 10, he gets over 7.5 pretty damn consistently.
Yeah.
The 10 is what you want to know about, though, right? Like 10 and 10. Like, what if it's just a double for both of them? That doesn't leave us enough room. That's too much room for error, I think.
Yeah. Because there could be a sweet middle where you lose both.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to muck around with just going over in the points, over in the rebounds.
Okay.
And then do the under for Lively just to see what we get. I think we'll get at least 5 or 6 to 1 for that.
Oh, it's only 4.5 boards for Gafford too. So already he has a good game. You're talking about that, and then you add in under 7.5 boards for Lively.
Yeah,
I think you might want to take an alt on that.
8.5.
Yeah, if you can, is that what you're seeing? Oh, and just so everybody knows, you can go under alt lines on FanDuel. I don't know if you guys knew that.
He's dropping wisdom, huh?
Yeah, under 8.5 still gets us a really nice little -156, nice little parlay leg number.
Yeah.
Under 8.5 boards, and the points for Lively. I almost would rather do an alt under for him on that as well, but let's see. It's at 8.5 points, right? Where are we at with D Lively? Oh, we got to show more. Okay, so under 8.5 points, or we can take an alt. Let's see here. Yeah, we can get this to a good spot. I think you're totally freaking right. Points. Oh, I'm right here. My bad. It doesn't look like they're giving us the
role players don't have the alt points.
Yep. Okay.
But
so we go
even just taking,
that's not bad.
Because then the risk in this, right, is either they both play well,
right,
which is extremely unlikely, right?
Seems it.
I think the most likely way you lose this bet if we run it, you might put half a unit on each, for example. The way you lose this is if they're both terrible. But
we've seen that one of them is going to get minutes. Maxi Kleber ain't a center. Okay,
no.
Like he's not. So they're going to have one of those dudes on the floor, even in the fourth quarter when they might need offense. One of those dudes is on the floor. It was Lively last game. Gafford in the previous game played the fourth quarter. So, damn, I really like this now. All right, hold on. Let me put this on
the last game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in love with you and I want to hit that, I'm going to be throwing everything I can at you. This is my last chance. So I love this game.
When you say if I love you and I want to hit that,
I'm thinking like this is my last chance to get in with you, and you're about to move to Paris. So I got to just put everything I can out on the table.
All right, let's see. I would never move to Paris. Let's see here. Okay, I love where your head's at though. No Diddy aside, Gafford over 8.5 points. I think you just keep it at. Is it 7.5? Actually, I'm tripping, right? Over 7.5 for Gafford. This isn't even that dangerous, man. Honestly.
We're basically betting on one of them playing well.
Yep, over 8.5 points. Over 4.5 boards. That's all it is. Over 4.5 rebs, and then Lively under 8.5 points / under 7.5 rebounds, or we said 8.5 rebounds. What do I have up?
No,
stupid screen up. Yeah, 8.5 each for Lively. 8.5 revs, and that's plus 589 on FD. All right, I'm just putting this up so I can track it real quick on FD, and then we can also roll with, and I'll save that so it's scrolling again. But we can also just do the inverse, right? Did you put that up yet on the Australian FanDuel?
No, not yet. I didn't want to be rude and look away at my phone this whole time, but
That's really you're a scholar and a gentleman. So we go. Do we just keep the core lines for both of them once again, though?
yeah. And just to see what are the odds before you place any of the bets, what odds do we get?
Yeah, no doubt. Does Lively's rebounds scare you at 4.5? Or excuse me, Gagford's lines at 4.5. It's implied odds are pretty low. So maybe we should take
not too much, because I'm having a look at his rebounds now.
Okay.
In his 6 games against Boston, he's either gone like he's had one game where he's had 9 rebounds.
Right.
All the other games he finished with 3.
Right. Okay.
So the 4.5 is a middle that
you're being called out, bro. Man, we've got way more degenerates since Daft arrived.
So it's a compliment, really.
Oh no, you're getting called out for good here. You're doing the Lord's work. Are you kidding me? But
we got to scratch that itch, boys.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we don't have much time left. You know what I mean on this planet or in this series. So, let's see. I just need to add Lively boards over, and that's up over 7.5. Do we just take the 10 for him at that point? Now we get plus 550 on both of these things at least. So right, like if you put $50 down on each of these, and you get like $250, $300 back on one of them, you only lost $50, and now they just tanked our odds here. So who is snitching, man? I keep telling you guys, somebody in here stays snitching. How sexy is it for 10 plus? Jesus, this would be sexual. 690, nice.
And that's the boards, right? Let me have it. And I think honestly, the 10 boards could be it. Like just looking Lively's games against Boston, he's gone 8 and under in 4 of them, and the one game with 13.
Yeah,
like
head to head. This is head to head, so it's 8-13, but it's just one with 13 versus Boston.
Yeah, that's right. And that 13 is the only game you got 30 minutes.
Yeah.
The other 2 games in this playoffs, he got less than 20 minutes, and he finished on 5 and 7 rebounds.
Right.
So if you get the under 8.5,
interesting. Yeah. So you got to keep. Okay. I like this though. I really like the Gafford one. I really hope that hits. I'll be honest with you.
With a Gafford over?
Yeah, I like the Gafford overs one, to be honest, because his rebounds is so low that it really helps us. Like, but no, we need the game flow to go exactly as we're saying, because you can't have both of them playing like 24 minutes each. Then we're fucked.
Well, Jakey doesn't know what he's doing out there, right? So you can't predict how these centers are going to go. They don't have a rotation.
Yeah.
He just looks down the line and see who's got their shoes on. Let's go.
Who's got them laced up? Okay, so wait, real quick. Look at this. You get better. Yeah, always look at the differences on FanDuel. Minus 135 versus minus 134. It's for the same bet. Over 7.5 or 8+ is the same goddamn bet. So this one's plus 464, which means that it does seem like the books are also, and they have with their lines indicated that Lively is more likely to go over in this.
So you might, if you had 1 unit to play on these degen parlays, you've got probably 0.6 units on this one and 0.4 on the other, perhaps.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. I'm putting this in. I am putting it in. I'm sending a text. Thank you. Like, this is why you're here, man. This is what we have. This is what we play for. And I think you're right about the way that you split it up. So I love the way that you called that out too.
I think we should do if this is the last game, we should just stream every day and do one on Russian table tennis and build some parlays.
I'm with it. I'm super with it. You got an inside look at those from anybody smart?
You just do what everyone else does and bet the short favorite and put them all together and pray.
There you go. That's what we call casual betting, baby. Cash betting. All right, I'm doing the other one inverse as well, so you guys know what's up. This is degen stuff at its finest. Did you have anything else while I type this in that we didn't touch upon yet? Perhaps?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Go ahead.
What I ultimately land on, I faded my boy Kyrie's rebounds and assists.
No, okay, rebounds and assists. That's a lean for me right now. Yeah,
I got it at minus 120. So I just had to. As much as I hate fading him, I just figure even if we get the best version of Kyrie in this game, he just scores a shit ton of points. Like
Yeah.
the potential assists aren't there. The rebound chances are not there for him and Luca right now because it's Boston are just hunting. Dallas have to play one of them, right? There's one of them on the court at all times. So Boston are just hunting one of them at all times. So they're not going to get rebounds. And the assists, they're only getting assists to each other. Like, think about how I got scammed in that last game. Remember that big money Luca first quarter assist play?
Yeah.
He went over it, of course.
Yeah.
Like, he had 3 potential assists, and he had 3 assists in the first quarter. But how he got those assists, pass to Kyrie. Kyrie dribbles it 6 times. Hezzy, tween, layup, assist to Luca. I'm like, fuck this. Like,
that's the thing that people also need to realize. When you send your like hate mail and hate tweets at like the players, you need to send it to the statistician just as much as the players. Like that person is dicking you just as bad.
Oh yeah, especially for rebounds and assists. Like, there's a lot of boards that are just slapped around. Like,
yeah, they do be slapping balls in this series. You're not wrong about that. All right, did we forget anybody? Do you want to even like let's real quick because I've got another like 15-20 if you're good with that.
It's not even 9 a.m. here. Like, I'll go all day.
Right, that's a good point. And it's freaking Saturday. Yeah. Nobody. What's the future like?
It's still cold.
It's still cold. And you're half Southeast Asian, so that's a big part of it.
3/4, really. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, hefty amount of warm climate individuals in your family.
Yeah.
I'm going all the way down here to see. I passed on Peyton P, but I'm leaning towards an under 6.5 PRA for Pusha P, as we call him.
Pusha. Hey, where'd you land with Jaylen Brown? I liked his points and assists in this game.
Yeah, my guy. I took over 3.5 assists for him.
Yep.
But I forget who brought it up in the chat, mentioning that like it might just be better to take his PA because he's about to win MVP, and if he wants to lock that up, then he should continue scoring around the basket. Hold on, Doug's talking about KP's injury not being listed as out, but playing 0 Tillman minutes last game, not being listed as out, which is a double negative. So we're saying he's in, but playing. Oh, Tillman? Do you mean X Tillman? Not sure what you mean, but like, I would love to know what people's thoughts are on KP playing. But did you have a thought on that real quick?
Surely he doesn't play. It doesn't make sense. Like, there is 0 reason for him to play.
That's what I'm at. Charlie doesn't think they even need him. I would agree with that. And just because Frankie Cox is asking, like, no, I lean Boston. I'll be honest with you. I don't buy.
You didn't say it in your Boston accent.
Yeah, my Boston accent. Yeah. Not good. I don't think it's right for the Mavs tonight, dude.
I want the Mavs. I just can't say that they win. I want them to win.
Yeah, I know. That's why I haven't. 0 Tillman minutes is what you're saying. Okay. That's fine. I mean, X gonna give it to you though if he gets on the floor. Just keep that in mind. All right, let's see here. I'm just looking. Oh yeah, this was a good find last time by Prop Bomb while we were on the stream. Right, I love that call. If it's still a decent number, I think it's a good call because of the fact that that KP not being in means he'll still mirror those minutes with Al being taken off the floor probably at some point. So I think that's a pretty good call. For Jaylen Brown, since you asked me, I have his assists. I want to touch on that real quick. Did you have something else for JB that you were thinking?
I took the PA because I was like, oh, the points line's moved up to 24.5, and fair enough. He smoked that in the last game.
So easy last game. I loved it last game at 21.
Yeah. And then in the last game, the whole thing for Jaylen Brown is he's been very efficient through these playoffs. The volume hasn't been there, but his percentages are excellent, right? No KP. I thought opportunity for Brown in this game, he's going to get more volume. And with more volume, he should cover his points line, which he did. And I feel like he left a little bit on the table. He was 2 from 9 from deep in that last game.
Right.
You could say that.
That was the other lean was over 1.5 threes. No, we lost the juice. So I actually did that on Prize Picks. I'm not sure if you have it. Sorry to interrupt, but I took I slapped 100 on Daniel Gafford under 2.5 dunks, and then the 1.5 threes for Jaylen Brown, which I don't recommend playing the Green Goblins, everybody. I know everybody sees the Green Goblins and they're like, oh my God, an easy line. But you lose the point of playing these parlays. The point of Prize Picks is that you get hella juice back. That's it. So anyway, off my soapbox. You were talking about JB a little bit more.
Yeah, so I like the points because there's upside. Like, he should get 20 shots. And if he continues to shoot 50 to 55%, and he might make a couple extra threes, he's getting to the free throw line. Like, they have to foul him, right?
Yeah.
So I like the points. The assists, it moved up to 4.5. I called it out in the previous one in my stream at 3.5. I was like, he's going to kill this. And once he kills it, it's moving to 4.5.
Yeah.
But
you can still get a 3.5. I will say that.
Yeah.
It might be worth it to take it at 140.
Yeah, it could be. But I like them both, and I don't necessarily want to pay 2 straight bets for the same guy. Okay. So let's just put them together. I think 28.5 is where I landed on the PA. I think I got it close. Yeah, pretty much that. So it hasn't moved at all.
Yeah. So add the assist to the points in the event that he has another like 7 assist game.
Yeah.
And then he needs basically
and knowing that he could cover that in points alone, really.
Right. Which is why you would stay away from one of your 20 points, 4 assists, or 20 points, 6, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like get the points in there with them at the same time. I think that's a good call. I wonder if KP's presence impacts Jaylen Brown at all. Did you by chance dive into that at all?
Fuck no. I made the assumption he wasn't going to play.
I know. That's where I'm at. I mean,
it's just smoke and mirrors, honestly.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's the shenanigans, right?
Because there's no props available for KP, is it?
No.
Isn't that the best indication? The books are on it, man.
It can be, but the other thing is like the books aren't going to put anything out because they don't know how to put anything out right now. Because in the event that KP plays, if you don't even know how healthy he is for real, then you might set that too low. Like I just don't think they know what to do with it. Is why they aren't putting anything out. Because sometimes they'll put out stuff that's like, that dude ain't playing, but they're like, I don't care, that's too high anyway. So if you want to take like Donovan Mitchell was the prime example during the Cavs Celtics series. He had props up hella late into the fact that it was like he's probably not playing, but they still had him up at like 31.5 points. Like, because they were like, if he doesn't play, great, but if he does, we don't think he's getting 32 points. We're gonna make you have to take a really high number on a guy that's kind of injured. So I don't want to have to play that guessing game, but I guess that does impact PJ Washington since someone brought him up real quick because, and by the way, Daft is playing a lot of you guys probably saw his his video, but he's playing the Jaylen Brown points and assists, just to be clear on that, over PA. I just want to make that clear since we were just talking about it. But the one I was just talking about here for PJ Washington, we saw a lot less Al Horford on him last game. And I think that's in part because of KP being out. And now you do have Al Horford on like Lively or Gafford. And so I like PJ Washington's threes because of that. Did you take a look at PJ much?
I did. But my concern is that I watched game 3 very closely. And he did so much of this in the fourth, right? Like he was terrible up until that point. Like if you just look at the number, it's like, this looks like it checks out. But nothing was happening till late in the game.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true.
So, but I chose not to take it because I still have some trauma, really.
Can I twist that into a positive though? Because
absolutely.
Thank you. We try to stay positive here. So he had 9 of his. How many points did he have in this game? 13.
13.
Jesus Christ, PJ, Patrick Jr. If that's his full name, like what the hell? 3 for 9, which means in the fourth he was 2 for 4 in the fourth. So here's what I'm thinking. My positive spin on that would be, and I actually did use this a little bit as supporting evidence for the bet that I put on him, which was 2 threes, which is simple stuff. But like coming around, I think the conversations behind closed doors for PJ Washington have been like, bro, you have to be our third scorer and you have to get above 15 points. Like you have to. And now that he has Derrick White on him, then it's basically like, okay, I can shoot over this dude. I couldn't shoot over Al Horford. I could get around Al Horford. So I'm going into the paint. He's running me off the line. And now I'm apparently having a good floater game that I didn't know about for PJ Washington. And he started hitting those. Then last game, right, the floater, it missed a little bit, but he still took the amount of threes that I would hope he would take in the fourth at least to get them there. And it was like, what happened when he started shooting threes? Good things. And I know he made 2 of 4 of them, but just the fact that he was freaking shooting them meant that the defense couldn't just hang around down low. Derrick Lively got an easy dunk off of the fact that Jason Tatum was pulled into the corner to actually guard PJ Washington. Like, PJ, get down into the corner where you've been amazing hitting threes and shoot it from there. So if I'm anybody smart, and I hear myself talking loudly now about Jason Kidd being smart, which is not something I want to always have to land on, But like, if I'm anybody smart on that staff, right? Like Jared Dudley's on that staff. He's fucking smart. Then like, then I'm telling him, you got to shoot, man. You got to get into positions to get yourself shots. So that's where I'm at with it. But never have I seen a player get under points over threes or over threes under points in the same damn game like that. Dude. Like, you can't just correlate his points going over because he's hitting threes and like put them together or anything like that. You know, like that's not how this dude rolls apparently. So that's kind of my take on that. I don't really the rebounds are at a kind of annoying spot now, I believe, for PJ, right?
I agree.
6.5 for like no juice, I think is what it is.
And those chances aren't high.
Yeah. I'll just take a quick look at those too, but I think you're 100% right.
But rebounds, at the same time, we had Lively get 26 chances, right?
Jesus, that's a really good point. Yeah, you can't get your rebounds on rebound chances alone. Like, you got to pull down the rebound. That's what we say. But like, I don't, if anybody says that. But yeah, 9 to get 8 last game. That's wild. That's wild. There's none of this like, oh well, the other big guys are boxing each other out, so that leaves free rebounds for PJ. There's none of that going on here, to be honest. So I'm staying away from that. Did you want to go anything else? There's the only other stuff I have left is the total role players. I would lean under for Derrick Jones Jr., but let me let you answer the question. Did you have something else you want to share with the?
I guess my question for you in the chat is like, are we riding Kyrie for 30 today? Is that what the vibe is?
I'm almost in a spot of like, if you're gonna take Kyrie over 24.5, then just take 30.
Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't take the 24.5. I just took him for 30.
Yeah.
It's a good watch. It's a beautiful thing. One of the best sights in basketball when that man's getting buckets.
It's true. The reason I stayed away from Kyrie in this one once again is not that I don't think he can do it twice in a row. It's that he hit a lot of tough shots against Drew. Got pretty tired at the end of the game there. I'm betting under on the game, or already did. I bet under on the fourth quarter as well. I think everything's just going to keep slowing down as it has. And so, like, I do want everyone to keep in mind too, 1 day of rest is different than 2 to 3 days of rest that we've been seeing for them in the finals, right? This is the shortest amount of time between games in the finals. And I do think it'll impact overall things, which you could make the argument would lead to certain role players getting a bit more because they're a little bit more fresh than everybody else. I don't think we have any THJ props, right, for Tim Hardaway Jr. or anything like that. But like,
I don't even think he gets game time. Like, shit.
Yeah. So
maybe they have a conversation with him. It's like, you got to be our third scorer. And
yeah. Real quick, JK wants to know your thoughts on this bet that I love entailed from him, which is under 109.5 for both teams is plus 110 for both these teams to do something they've done every game now, which is go under 110 points.
I think it's a good look. I don't bet props that way, but
yeah, it's available on DraftKings, but I think that's a good look. Adapt is on Kyrie 30 plus. I'll put that on the bottom line too. I think, look, go with what you got, man. And you faded him on the rebounds and assists too, right?
Yeah.
You didn't put that.
And then one other player I have, I think you may have spoken about it, but I've got a turnover parlay.
Okay.
I've got the Luca under 4.5.
Me too.
Which is disrespectful. And Jaylen Brown over 2.5. I'm pretty sure in every game he's thrown the ball into the stands. Like, his potential assist numbers are up, which is great for the assist. But man, the likelihood he throws it at somebody's face, like,
he has done that. You're not wrong.
Yeah. That left-handed pass that he does when he drives, it is terrible.
He already can't dribble with the left. What are you doing passing it with the left?
Yeah. Like, if he was in the skills challenge, some would argue he'd be there for days trying to get through that thing. Like, he'd never finish the course. So
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So you took
there's a correlation with high assist numbers, also with high turnovers.
So did you take this bat of juice though?
That's why I parlayed them together. The Luca and I got plus 160.
So 3 for him, which is something he's done pretty consistently. It looks like 6 of 10, averaging 3. Under versus Indy, who doesn't really force turnovers. They are just putrid on defense.
Yeah.
But also probably got them against Miami. They're not putrid on defense. And then Cleveland didn't really get them, but yeah, it's a decent look. I didn't like for yeah, it's a decent look, and he's gonna have the ball in his hands a good amount too.
Yep.
I think they're just ripping you off with the odds, to be honest.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. Which is why I parlayed them. Like
yeah,
I'd never play this on its own, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking if this guy's going to keep throwing it in the stands, Dallas hopefully fighting at home, I can see some
yeah,
fatigue setting in. Like you know what it's like when you play tired. Dumb shit
yeah.
happens. Like you're
It's true. Yeah. And yeah, maybe for Luca, I don't care quite as much because I think the outlet for him is that like he can just give it to Kyrie at any point in time, and then he's good.
yeah. And I
Um,
think another narrative you brought up Luca, right? Terrible defensively in this series. Like it's so bad. But there's a narrative where he finally gets his way and he might draw a couple of charges in this game after getting 5 blocking fouls and 1 offensive foul in the last one.
yeah.
He
What
probably draws a few charges in this one.
How do you bet that?
You bet on Jaylen Brown to get turnovers.
Got it. Okay, so Jaylen Brown bowls him over, and there's
Yeah.
a turnover. That's a
Yeah.
good call. You bet on Jaylen Brown turnovers. I like the correlation there. I do. Maybe Luca gets some charge calls. Is the analysis? On
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown.
Science.
That is science at its core, man. I love it.
If I could bet how things happen, I think it should. I would be able to get plus money that Jaylen Brown throws the ball into the stands and hits a fan in the face, attempting to pass to the corner.
Yeah.
And then there's one where he drives baseline, Luca cuts him off, and Brown runs him over. Offensive foul. That's
Okay.
easy 2 turnovers right there.
Boom. We're already 2/3 of the way there. I love it. Yeah. Dude, I'm not even gonna talk trash. Who is offering Sam Hauser blocks? Anybody?
What?
There's no way. I don't care if it's minus 450. I would take that. Where are you at, Sam? Someone said this is terrible. Someone said Sam Hauser looks like an albino Gordon Hayward.
Say what?
I can't unsee it now. Like somehow he's actually paler than that. Was wild. Is he getting a block prop? And it is 600, by the way. I said I don't care if it's minus 500. It's minus 600. Jesus Christ. That won't even help you in a parlay, though. Maybe on Prize Picks. But I don't see a world in which that's worth it. Has he? He's recorded 2 blocks in his last 10. He's got 5 in his last 20. There's no way that's worth it. I just wanted to call that out because I couldn't even believe that was a bet. But not low key. I'm not feeling it. That was his name. That's why I said that. All right. Do we want to look at these poo-poo lines down here for guys like Josh Green, for instance? Let me just.
These were the last guys I looked at when I did my video last night, and I was like, "Oh, let's take a look." I know Derrick Jones barely got any minutes in that last game. Let's take a look, but fuck, again, it's because he did nothing. He didn't deserve any minutes, and they were chasing points. They didn't need him.
Who are you talking about?
So, Derrick Jones Jr.
Okay, yeah, cool. That's what I thought. I pulled up him. I'm good on Hauser. Pritchard, I have a lean for the under 6.5 PRA. I think if you're taking Hauser over 1.5 threes, fine, go ahead. Like I'm good on it because over time it's just not a good play at the end of the day. So I'm off of that. But Derrick Jones Jr., Josh Green. Do we even have Josh Green props? Doesn't look like it. So we don't even get Josh. Oh, we do. I'm sorry.
He's there.
Okay,
yeah,
I missed him. So Jay Green and DJJ. DJJ played 15 minutes. That was part of my key takeaways from the last game. So where are you at since you looked at both those guys?
I ain't touching none of them. I thought actually Derrick Jones Jr.'s rebound prop was interesting. If you want to take a look at that, it's 3.5. The hit rate on it surprisingly is okay, and he managed to cover that in barely any minutes in the last game.
Oh wow! In part because he was still guarding mostly Tatum, I believe, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, Boston are that good at hunting Kyrie and Luca. Is he actually defending him? Like they get a lot of that weak side stuff. So I thought about that.
Yep, that's a good point. So he played 15 minutes, and only 2 of the minutes that he was on defense did he really stick to Jason Tatum. Yeah. Played pretty well against him. I didn't really get taking him out other than I guess he can't shoot and they're looking for offense, right? So what would you put his minutes at? 15 again?
He could get 25. It's all fuck. Who knows what Jason Kidd's doing? This is the guy that he called a timeout when Dallas won a 20-4 run.
Yeah, that was wild. Oh man, it's so annoying. I started to have a little turnaround about him too, and kind of lost it. But all right, I don't want to have to put my money on any of those guys. My buddy took under 5.5 like PR for Derrick Jones Jr. I think that's still what it's at. I'm not feeling that.
Isn't it 8.5?
He took under 5.5 points, which moved in the wrong direction for him. Yeah. But he still got a pretty good look on the number.
Yeah. Did you? I think JK had a good comment in the comment section. Al Horford first quarter points.
I saw that too. Yeah. And it popped up because Outlier was calling it out, right?
Yeah, and I had that as a really strong lean in the last game, and I didn't take it because I'm a fool.
And he hit the 3, right?
He had 5. So
he hit the.
He hit a 3. Yes.
Yeah.
So I've looked into this, and I was close to betting it again. My concern with it is in the last game, even though he scored 5 points, he only took 2 shots in the first quarter. He made both of them.
They're not offering it right now?
First quarter points.
Are they? It's not up on let me see on DK directly. Where are you at first quarter points? Am I not? Is this okay? My bad. Yeah. So okay, there's some Porzingis news coming out right now.
Oh shit! But Porzingis not going to start anyway.
I think he's going to play though. Either he's going to play or I don't know why you would need to clear shit. Like, were they really putting these props up as though he was going to play? If anybody has that info, hit us up real quick. Waiting on Zinger. Let me pull up my Twitter. Got a post notification. Kristaps Porzingis available if necessary. Will only be used in specific instances. That is the call out on Underdog.
So it'd be like the last 5 seconds if they need a rebound from a free throw.
What the hell does that mean? What do we do with that? Yeah, good call, Elon Musk. By the way, hilarious name. All right. Do we want to stick around for a little bit and look at some stuff? Like, do we do anything with that? And Doug did kind of say that. Actually, Doug, you did say that. At first, I was going to give you shit, Doug, for being like waffling about it. But you basically just said what Bazula's bullshit ass just said, too, which is like, he's got a kind to play. Like, what the hell does that mean? Just to confuse us. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. It means 0 Tillman minutes. Interesting. Yeah, that's fair. We're not going to get Tillman props, but my brain feels a little mushy, to be honest with you.
Oh, I've been mush for a while. I actually told everyone put in my last video that if this is the last game, I'm going to give myself a couple of days off and take a break.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting day drunk tomorrow for sure. That's going to be
you deserve it.
Yeah.
We can also fill the void if you want and promote like sports books and stuff if you want and apps. Sign up to Rebet with code DART. It's available in 46 out of 50 states. You get 100% deposit match. Let's go.
All right, hold on. I here's the thing. I really got to pee. I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'm gonna leave you hanging for like 5 minutes, and we might spend another 10 trying to see if there's anything that helps us.
Yeah.
Come back up.
Yeah. I'll promote my shit.
Yeah, go ahead. Everything that Dad says while I'm gone, though, don't listen to it.
All right, we got the Dark Previews Q&A. Fill up the chat, boys and girls.
Yes.
Yeah. If you haven't heard of Rebet, pretty new DFS app that's out there. The good thing about these new DFS apps, lines are relatively soft. So if you do some shopping, you might be able to find some value. But I have recently partnered up with Rebet. Feel free to check it out. What else we got? No, I'm not going to plug all this shit. Hit me with it. Over 1.5 blocks for Daniel Gafford. A lot of that's really dependent on minutes. His line in this series was at 0.5, and the Boston Celtics, they don't get blocked too often. So yeah, I probably lean to the under on Gafford. It might be something we add to the Gafford times Lively parlay, because if Gafford's not going to get minutes, the under in the blocks look great. You can get juicy. Hey, real quick, I put this question out to my audience in one of my videos. I just want to get everybody's feelings on this. Who is the ugliest NBA player that you have ever seen? Now, I got a lot of comments on this. I got a lot of Tyronn Hill. I got a bit of Sam Cassell. Some people put Bobo. I got Dennis Rodman. Yeah, Jermaine, I think he sits down when he pisses, perhaps. But, you know. Oh, he's quicker than 5. I think he stood up for this one.
Who's that?
There was a bit of laughing about you taking 5 minutes to piss, and someone said that you might sit down while you do it. but you were here pretty quick.
Which is one of the greatest Dave Chappelle show lines of all time. During the Mad Real World, where he's like, "I better not catch you peeing standing up. You sit down when you pee." He just got out of prison. That was Tyree. Yeah, I'm Tyree, and yeah, I've been to prison. That was his monologue.
The chat's filling up. I asked them who the ugliest player who's ever played in the NBA is.
Damn, Stray's throwing at Theo Ratliff. Damn.
I didn't think Theo Ratliff would have came up.
Yo, this is the answer. I think it's Jordan Walsh, right?
Nah, that's slack. Well, how's he that different to
Charlie Villanueva?
Yeah, Charlie V.
Yeah, that feels wrong because they have alopecia, and that's kind of
mean,
but it is what it is. They're all pulling, hella girls. Like they're millionaires. So
that's why I can say this, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't eating while peeing, y'all. I had to get some energy here, some nuts. Got some raisins. Got a little Boban. Boban being 7'8" or whatever he is, you're gonna pull. Like, don't even worry about that. Who is the answer to that? There's some. Marcus Smart's not an attractive man, be honest with you about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not getting into this. Let's look. Kelsey's right to answer though. Let's see real quick. Damn, did you got the chat straight? Let me see if there's anything. Okay, so we got some stuff coming up. So Al is at 9.5 still. Did they change anything? They put Tatum up a point.
So that means he's out, right?
It means the books are trying to understand Joe Mazzulla's nonsensical jargon just as much as we are.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I don't know if you could catch value in this because no one knows what the hell's happening.
Yeah. All right. I don't think there's anything we can do with it, man. That did not help us in any way, shape, or form, to be honest with you. I'm be honest. I'm not going to touch Derrick Jones Jr. I'm not going to touch Josh Green stuff either.
What were your thoughts on Luca? I might have missed that, actually. What do you think?
I didn't offer many, man. I did not offer many at all. I just kind of gave the turnover prop. Like, I just don't – first quarter points, that would be it. That's the only way I'm willing to take him at this point. Like, I was really into the 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 threes that I kept hitting over and over and over again for Luca Doncic. I have no confidence now. I don't. And the points prop is what, 32.5 still?
32.5?
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. 32.5. There was a look for under PRA for Luca that was brought up when we started this shit like a million years ago. So
yeah, that's the way that I had to look at it.
Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to bet it, but
I think I'm going to bet it now that we're talking about it. I'll be honest with you. I really think I am. I have roughly 7.5 units out there right now. But I don't think he's going to do all of it once again. I really don't.
I'm not going crazy today, and I'll be honest with you. This is the reason why. I was thinking, like, what are my next steps once the NBA season is done? And I'm thinking of like creating content, a video that says I made $10,000 in the NBA this season. Here's how. But if I go crazy on this, it could take me under 10,000. So,
got you.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Let's see here. I'm not sure if we're upsetting you, Kelsey, or if the perverts in the chat are, but yeah, there's some shitheads in here.
Not the pervert on screen. That's for sure.
There's one on screen, and maybe two. But yeah, I agree. That kind of sucks, Kels. Either way, the Luca under 51.5 PRA is -117. There's probably some 50s hanging out there.
That's a good call out by Tyler Cameron. The elimination game factor. This is an elimination game.
Yeah. And meaning what?
Do we get big dick Luca swinging it out? Just going for broke.
No.
I've
not seen anything from Luca that would say, what a mentally strong individual.
Yeah.
If anything, Kyrie's sort of like way of being, I'll just call it, his eccentricities, if you will, help him be ignorant to the fact that like maybe he should be scared or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, so nah. Damn, actually, that's kind of true. You do look like you Capper. You know Ronald Kabang?
Who?
It's Ronald Kabang, I believe is his name.
Kabang.
Yeah, it's like at you Capper. That's true. You guys actually do look alike. That's crazy.
At you Cap. Put it on the screen.
Oh, it's a good call.
Who it is?
I mean, already, even just his avatar, you get
Right.
it, right?
Yeah, got that D Light vibe. I know what he's saying.
The D-Light vibes, exactly. Yeah, Ronald's a good dude. You guys should give him a follow. The where was I at with Luca? Yeah, like let's see, the 51.5, what he's done, not that consistently. 10 rebounds helped him get there, and he had no assists right in that first game. Do you have any thoughts on like the game flow between his assists and points for Luca?
Nope. I think potential assist volumes are terrible. So I think if I had to the under in assists, I can find an argument for under in rebounds. If they're just hunting him the whole time, how's he supposed to get boards? A lot of his rebounds are uncontested, so he doesn't need too many chances.
Yeah.
But
maybe
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
42.5. That is not something he's done very consistently. Yeah. And these 11 assists were an outlier big time to me.
Yeah.
That's a big play.
If you take the under rebounds and assists, you're pretty much betting that he doesn't get a triple double.
Right.
So,
right.
Which is he's capable, but I can't even say that he's due because there's nothing that points to him doing it. Like his mental is gone.
Yeah, well, the PA itself is minus 146 for the under. 41.5 though is even money, and this is put under 41.5 in there. In his last 20, that's hit 16 times against this Boston defense. Yeah, I think that's another.
He's not going to do both.
Yeah, you're not going to do both. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm going with it. I mean, he could drop a 40. He could drop a 40 piece, but I don't give a shit. I'm doing it. Luca's got whiskey dick is coming in the comments too.
It's so true. He does.
He really does. This shit's off the rails. All right, I'm adding the Luca bet, and I'm calling it before y'all degenerates make me bet more. I think I have to pass on my leans at this point. I have 4 leans on top of my 12 bets. I can't get.
I'm going to take it with you. I'm going to take Luca's under points.
Yeah, Luca. I'm going 41.5 for the better juice there. 41.5 PA minus 101. Actually, I didn't see which book I'm about to hit that on. Cesar. Yeah, I do have access to Caesars. Great. Minus 101 Caesars. Going 0.5 U also. Watch me come out even on the day with like 9,000 bets. It's gonna be the biggest waste of my time. All right, I'm gonna call it because I got a couple things to do too before this game kicks off here in about an hour. Just to answer your question, Ralph, this is gonna be a big priority of mine moving forward. I'm taking some classes here for some of this coding stuff, and mostly around Excel sheets and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's gonna be huge. I want to up my game a little bit with my personal spreadsheets rather than just have to rely on all these other places. But all right, cool. Any last brilliance from you, my friend?
I am Filipino. I checked out Ronald Kabang, and I get the comparison. I've actually seen him before. Yeah. I get that, not in real life. Like I've seen one of his videos before, and I think that's fair. Yeah, it's a fair comparison.
Hell yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Ralph, we'll be talking about this more. I mean, I'm gonna try to get you on for some W streams. I know Modai is gonna be coming on for some W streams. I think there's lots of stuff to talk about with the W moving forward. So we will. Best of luck tonight, y'all. If you want to get a hold of me, I mean, you can hit me on Twitter. You can hit me in the Discord as well. Link in the description. If you're not there, definitely give Daft's Discord as well. It's a bit more Aussie, but like you get to use the C word a lot more freely in that one. So that's pretty cool because that's just what they call each other. Hit me up, bro. I would love to hear about a bot that manages all this kind of stuff. That's pretty dope. Dude, also, you know what's crazy on Google? If you Google stuff now, you know how like here, I'll just show you. This is what's insane. If I do like Celtics versus Mavs, right? Prediction is its own little filter tab because everybody's is Googling Mavs and Celtics predictions. Like this shit's taking over, man. We're in trouble for sure as a world and definitely this nation. So all right, cool. I will we'll be back before long. Hopefully we're back for a game 5, man. That'll be so fire. You guys have been great in the chat though. Appreciate y'all. Definitely give Daft a follow everywhere, which is mostly on the Cord. A little bit on the IG, right? You're not really doing Twitter too much.
Yeah, I think YouTube's my go-to. That's gonna be my
YT. Yeah, for sure. We'll be checking all that stuff out. But appreciate you guys. Definitely continue to follow along if you would. Subscribe to this page. Would also subscribe to Daft's page. Those very in-depth videos that my man's putting out are always fire. So Best of luck to everybody tonight. And until we see you next, hopefully for Game 5, happy betting.